ASD qualifying night up and running. First heat race on track at the 40th Annual Chili Bowl Nationals, powered by NOS Energy Drink. Lock in the Dirt Draft lineup. Yeah, you hit the button, right, Chris?
I did. I barely made it, but we did it.
Frank Flood's got the pole for this one. Ashton Thompson to the outside. John Clabundy, Riker Pace, Braxton Cummings, Chris Wyndham. It is Mike Sullivan and Matt Sherrill, Eric Guillot and Kevin Studley, your 10 cars, going 8 times around. Flood in a really nice spot. 100 points is proven to be a good slot in the qualifier. You just got to come through and have a good qualifier for there. So the all-time GOAT of micro racing with the pole here for heat race number 1 and a chance to set the tone for Chili Bowl night number 4.
Absolutely. The job is simple. If you're Frank Flood, you have to win it. 100 points will solidly put you in that top 40 to make the qualifier. Opportunity for Chris Wyndham. We'll see where this racetrack's at. You're going to have to make something happen if you're row 3 on back, but at the same time, patience, but 8 laps goes by in a hurry.
Especially on a fresh, juiced-up racetrack like we have here. Coming out of the corner, it's a good start for Flood, and we're underway on night number 4.
You can see them kind of bottle on the bottom. Wyndham trying to use the outside as they're side-by-side for that second position. As Thompson now getting shuffled out of the mix. Here comes lap number 1. Across the stripe, it's Flood. Pace. Clabundy now up to 3rd. There's Wyndham. A little contact with the 77 of Clabundy. There's the second opinion auto car. Matt Sherrill trying to go through as they settle it down the front straightaway.
Feel for Sherrill. He was just trying to hang on there and got bounced around like a pinball up near the top of the pinball machine. As yellow lights are on around the racetrack, caution is out. One up against the inside. Hard enough to move the concrete barrier on the inside.
Taking a look at it, I think that's the 25 GS of Guillot. And Guillot, you're right, thundered that jersey barrier to where it kind of knocked it off, and those jersey barriers are not light by any means. You can see the flat left rear tire as they moved Guillot's car over the or back onto the racetrack. Take a good look from Chase Schaefer, our infield cam at the damage, as we watch the K1 instant replay. Oh, upside down, huge. Throttles still, I don't know, maybe got hung open a little bit. You could see it here. Kind of barrel rolled. Velocity was pretty massive on that for such a short distance as far as the flip was concerned.
The media guys go scrambling off the inside as you come down.
Head on a swivel down there, but good to see Guillot out of the race car as we have eclipsed the 30 mark on the IBOC flip count.
Guillot was our Manitoba-based driver that we were trying to figure out where the heck that town was.
That's right.
You know what the population of that town is?
Please tell me.
According to Wikipedia.
Which is always correct.
95.
Wow.
1/95th of the entire town.
Everyone knows everybody. Brian Ward, what more can you tell us?
Yeah, I'm going to get a word in with Eric right here. Matt Ward gives him some pieces to the race car. We'll come in a safe spot here. Eric, it looked like you kind of throttled out. We don't know if you had your foot in it or if it got stuck when you went over.
Yeah, I tried to throttle out of it, and it hooked, and I was in the washing machine.
Tough luck there for Eric Guillot. We'll give him a ride back soon.
Caleb, you ever been in a washing machine?
I'm assuming that means he got tumbled?
Put it on tumble. That's right. Back under the green flag, Frank Flood leading Riker Pace. And now Chris Wyndham will hold on to the 3rd spot as we'll get the lineup straightened out in timing and scoring as they cross the stripe. But Riker Pace keeping Frank Flood honest here early in this first heat race.
Big move there from Wyndham on the inside of turn 1 on the restart lap. Just sneak that spot away as Flood's really struggling with that race car a bit. We've hadn't seen him have to correct more than a few times coming off the 4th corner. That car has just been a little too tight. He has had to rustle it around, but he's managed to stay out front so far. 3 to go for Flood, Pace, and Wyndham. And Wyndham looking for another spot. 62 would be huge here if he can get the nose underneath Pace.
Yeah, it'd be 113, which would be a solid mark in the qualifiers. Matt Sherrill trying to make something happen in the late goings under Braxton Cummings for position. Also ahead there is John Clabundy. You're looking at drivers 5th, 6th, and 7th as finally Wyndham gets around the pace machine. May have had a bobble, Riker Pace. So move Chris Wyndham now, 6-2. Frank Flood on cruise control. White flag is already out. Now the checkered for Frank Flood, who will win 1-1. So 100 points for Flood, 113 for Big Daddy Chris Wyndham, going 6-2. We should take a look at your unofficial results. Two biggest movers finishing 1-2 as far as points gained.
Riker Pace going to be right on the borderline for making the invert of the qualifier, but he will get to a qualifier.
Back up top to the top of the ramp, EHJ with a TJ Forge pit report. Mic check.
Oh, Mike.
Whoopsies. I thought I turned the knob, guys. Thank you. Frank Flood getting his second heat race win in his Chili Bowl career. I mean, how nerve-wracking is it? You know, you've been here how many years now, but you started on the pole. How nerve-wracking is it to start on a pole of a heat race?
I've been back there about ready to throw up all day, being pole of heat 1. You saw out there, my nerves got the best of me. I about spun it out going into 3, but settled down and kind of got my composure back and got my laps back together. And I knew I had Chris coming strong. Doesn't matter where he starts, he's always a threat here. So I just knew that was my only shot to keep fighting and keep living for tonight.
Frank Flood trying to make his 7th prelim feature in his Chili Bowl career. His best finish on a prelim night was a 6th place finish that happened last year.
Yeah, he was ecstatic. I remember last year when he made the show.
Yep.
Just, you talk about a guy with so much success in this building, it will humble you, finally getting it done at the Chili Bowl.
Heat race number 2 on track. Shannon McQueen's got the pole from this one. Talk about somebody who's been on the pole of heat races here before. We'll see if she succumbs to the pressure. Dodge Carlbert to the outside. Joe Perry, Brady Bacon, row 2. Kyle Simon, Joel Myers Jr., Brandon Maddox, Jake Johnson, and Devin Doty from, say it with me, Chris Wilner, Wapakoneta, Ohio. Drinking game not getting anybody today.
No, they were trying to rattle us.
Nah,
we're not rattled.
Wapakoneta.
Give us something harder.
Come on.
Yeah, and especially just to get back to Saturday night for Brady. I know he's had 2 Saturday B mains the last 3 years, was his C main a year ago. So it's been several years since he's been in that Saturday night big show. Maybe today, maybe this is the year we'll get back to the promised land for the 5-time Chili Bowl A-main starter. Keep an eye on Brady outside of row number 2, but it's all Shannon McQueen and Dodge Carlbert to set the pace. Heat race number 2, green off turn number 4.
Still a little narrow getting into corner number 1. You see him bottle out, but everybody makes their way through. Bacon's got 3rd, lap number 1. It's McQueen in front of the field.
Yeah, good lap for Brady to settle in on the outside, that bottlenecked on the bottom in lap number 1. So Bacon to 3rd, Carlbert trying to hang tough there as you look at Brady. Still a lot of moisture in the racetrack, but that second groove still not quite there, but giving it the old heave-ho is Dodge Carlbert trying to keep tabs with Brady Bacon for 2nd.
Got the car rotated early in the corner and diamond the turn off. I mean, you usually think of that starting higher and coming lower, but for practical purposes, it worked for Bacon, who's now up to 2nd, and closing on McQueen out in front. Bacon up to the rear bumper of Shannon McQueen for the lead at the halfway point.
This is where veteran patience is right here. You wait for that opportunity to open up, and it just about did as McQueen will skate high in 3 and 4. Brady Bacon just trying to keep the 21 locked and loaded on the bottom of the racetrack. Shout out to Joel Myers Jr. up a couple spots as well inside the top 5 as Brady Bacon now to the lead, the Macho Man with 2 to go.
Saw the opportunity. McQueen got 2 wide off of 4, was right on the hammer, and bye-bye goes Bacon as he is down to 1 to go. 1 lap away from 115 points for him as we look further back in the field. That's Perry working to the inside on Simon. Simon driving up and around. Wheel stand from Perry as the checkered flag is out. Brady Bacon, heat race winner here in the 2nd run.
115 for Brady Bacon puts him to the top after 2 heat races. And as you look back through the field, Kyle Simon, boy, that's going to be close. May not be enough, as there wasn't a whole lot of moving and shaking besides Joel Myers Jr. as we have post-race festivities here in turns 3 and 4 coming to the checkered. Looks like the 23S of Simon, one of those cars spun around. See how it happened.
So not
to make that Perry that started it, and man,
and that's Doby.
Doby came in there hard.
I was gonna say I thought Simon was further by than that, so Simon gets through. It's Doby who is up on the apron.
But that was Perry and the NASCAR Wheel and Modified Tour Rookie of the Year, Jake Johnson, that got together early, and Doby came in there full throttle. So we'll get those cars off the racetrack. That was back 6th on back in heat race number 2. Blake Anderson is back at the top of the ramp. He's got the Macho Man, winner of heat race number 2.
Yeah, we got Earl Hoon Jr. as one to watch. Brady Bacon. And Brady, how big is that pass for you there? And is it tough to stay patient with this racetrack? Is it right now just not quite wide enough where you got to go when you get that opportunity, or can you afford to sit back and wait for that opportunity?
Yeah, I mean, you have to just put yourself in a position to when the opportunity presents itself, you can take it. It's actually, the grease is pretty much all gone, and it's actually starting to get slick on entry, which is kind of what helped me. You know, I was able to stay down, and she slid up a little bit, and then I was able to finally get by her. But had to work it over a couple times, and that's just kind of what you have to do. You can't beat yourself. So, yeah, I think our car's really good. We made a lot of improvements, just changed our package a little bit, and I think we're going to be right there.
The 4-time USAC National Sprint Car Champion looking to lock into his 17th straight Prelim A main.
Brady is just a model of consistency in that regard. And yeah, 17 straight Prelim A mains. We talk a lot about the Jerry Coons record, but wow, Brady is right there and ready to eclipse it should Jerry ever falter.
Jerry's not looking like it's going to be anytime soon. His performance the other night, 26 straight for the USAC Triple Crown winner, as our BR Motorsports Speed Shot shows our next heat race. Caleb Hart, number 3, coming out on the racetrack, led by the USAC National Sprint Car Champ.
Kyle Cummins, Princeton, Indiana, the 39G on the front row of this one. Abby Holbein outside row number 1. Sean Robbins and Brecken Reese are in row number 2. It's Trevor Service and Tim Kent in row number 3. Cooper Miller, Johnny Kent in row number 4. And CJ Leary buried all the way in 9th here in this one. Gonna have to come a long ways forward. Kyle Cummins, we know he is a guy who can get the job done from the very front row. Inside row number 1. Glenn Steyer's backing, Kevin Swindell wrenching. Good combination there with a talented driver. We'll see how he does.
Yeah, and Brecken Reese there outside of row number 2. A gasser in the micro ranks. Second Chili Bowl start here this year. We'll see what kind of things he can do from Canyon, Texas, as Kyle Cummins will lead the field to green. Holbein didn't quite get the jump she needed, and there goes Brecken Reese from 4th to 2nd on the opening 2 corners.
Smart moving there from Reese to get clear and out sailing early here as lap number 1 belongs to Cummins. Reese is 2. Holbein sits 3. Leary only 1 spot in the opening lap. 9 to 8. We'll keep our eyes on him in the back of the field.
Yeah, got bottled up just a little bit as Leary chose a lane. We've got contact ahead of Leary, and this will help. 1 upside down. The 07 of Tim Kent coming to a stop high off of turn 4. So too is the 53 is Sean Robbins.
Easy way to get 2 spots, right?
Exactly. Yeah, Leary was all over the binders on that one, trying to avoid it because he was on the outside lane. At least it looked like coming into the screen. We'll check out the K1 Race Gear replay, and you can see Robbins just completely locked to the left.
That car did not want to turn as he's coming through the corner. Please, please, please. And then contact with both Kents, Tim and Johnny, in and through. Robbins to a stop. Tim's got the push in behind him, and even after that little airborne flip that we have that adds to the Eibach Springs flip count, the 07 continues on.
That's a good sign. I'm sure something may be at least bent a little bit. For Robbins, he's on the hook, so we'll be done. But tip of the cap to Johnny Kent, who escaped that. That was the car on the outside. Tagged the front straightaway wall, was able to keep it going and avoid coming to a stop. So I think he's probably okay. Kiss of the right rear was the bulk of the impact.
Everything looks upright and fine to me. Radius rod is good. Tires good. No weeble wobble to the axle.
So Leary will go from 8th to 6th as now Tim Kent, who thought we were going to get this thing rolling. Looks like the left front. Is that coming off the wheel?
Left front, but
yes.
Right.
There's a little blue. Either way, they're going to go to the work area and try to make something happen. No guaranteed time, of course, until we get to the feature event. So have to, once the lineup gets set, they'll get the one to go signal this time by. And the time winding out for Tim Kent, who again started in the 6th position out of Bristow, Oklahoma. And, well, I'm going to try to let him roll. Doesn't look flat. I mean, yeah, well, it's quite a bit of mud caked up underneath the airbox.
And you wonder there with that mud is if it's interfering at all with the swing and the move of the drag link. We watched that yesterday on Professor Ward's.
That's right.
Midget Anatomy 101, and the angle that drag link comes into either the combo arm or the third arm for your Ackerman style steering.
Guys,
Brian?
I saw Tim come to the infield and he was throwing his hands up at an official, so I went and asked. They said he was told on the receiver to go over the work area. Apparently he was leaking a lot of fluid. That's why they had the rest of the field spinning their tires there near the exit ramp. So I'm not sure where the fluid was coming from or what they noticed in the work area, but he was sent there. They looked it over and then sent him back on the track.
Thank you, Brian. So race control spotting something, but Tim has opportunity to continue in the 07. Kyle Cummins going to lead the field back to green. 2 down, 6 to go.
Cummins rolling through 1 and 2. Big move to the top for Johnny Kent.
I like it.
Around Holbein.
Had to get on the binders. Brecken Reese through the middle. Kind of stalled that run for Kent on the outside. As Holbein in the middle is going to come to a stop. And unfortunately, Service will get caught up in the 111. Holbein out of the Mark Daly camp this week. Mark having all sorts of issues with his machine on prelim night. Was that Tuesday? So now Abby's turn in the 22M, but going to come to a stop now. Cooper Miller to the attention of the crew there in the work area in the 8L. Cooper was running 7th.
Outside of Cummins and Leary, nobody wants to stay on racetrack here.
No.
Everybody give them their shot.
Oh,
yeah, there was some help, just a bit. Watch it again from our up top turn 1 cam.
Yeah.
There was some help.
There was definitely front to rear bumper contact. Cooper Miller able to rejoin the racetrack as we keep an eye on the lineup here.
Chris, I ran over to the work area here and I talked to Jonathan Beeson, the car owner for Cooper Miller. Said Cooper pulled in, said it just wasn't running. They looked it over, didn't notice anything, so he's not quite sure what the issue is, but they're going to send him out to try it again.
All right, so fingers crossed for the Cooper Miller fans out there. If that car can stay alive at this rate, have an opportunity to at least get back in the game.
Definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results.
Something like that, yeah.
I don't see anything. Go
All
on
right.
it.
Well, hang on. Kyle Cummins, Brecken Reese, Johnny Kent. Back to the green flag we go, and hopefully get some laps underneath them as now here comes CJ Leary. Will rip a tear off, gets by Kent for 3rd. Brecken Reese now in the crosshairs at the halfway signal.
9-2 could be a monster run here. 128 has been good enough to be way up there every night of this week. Right now, 9-3 for Leary. Sits him at 116. Just needs one more spot if he can find his way around Reese. But a yellow flag's coming, and we'll get another opportunity to restart as the 111 of Service faces the wrong way.
Leary's been good on the restarts, though, just kind of knowing when to attack and pull the trigger. We saw it on Johnny Kent, so maybe even opportunity here with Brecken Reese as we take a look at what happened to the Service machine, and a little contact there from Cooper Miller. Turns the 111 around on corner entry. Cooper coming in there with a full head of steam, and so we'll get Trevor's car refired here in turns 3 and 4. A battle of attrition, but all eyes now on CJ Leary. 116 at the mark as far as points. Would love to get to 128 and set himself apart. Current high points after 2 heat races, Brady Bacon with 115. After going 4-1 in the last heat race. Cummins, Reese, Leary, your top 3 with 3 laps to go.
There goes Leary, yeah, swinging up half a groove into turn number 1, coming back after Brecken Reese. Reese glued to the bottom, going into the 3rd corner. Everybody chasing Kyle Cummins. As we're down to just 2 to go.
Yeah, got to have a big corner here to set up turns 3 and 4 for CJ Leary. A little bit better that time. Will close right back in. Uses that kind of half lane higher to try to build momentum. White flag is out. Brecken Reese just needs to have some clean corners on the bottom of the racetrack. Leary going to try to find a hole. It's not on the bottom. He'll go to the top. But Breckenreese will hang on to second. CJ Leary, 116, 9-3 in heat race number 3. But 100 points for Kyle Cummins, leading this one wire to wire.
Well done, Cummins. Did his job, and CJ Leary, an impressive climb up the field. He'll pile in 116 as we will take a timeout. Heat race number 4 coming up next here in our live coverage of the 40th Annual Chili Bowl Nationals, powered by NOS Energy Drink on FloRacing.
Welcome back here to halfway point of the Chili Bowl Nationals, powered by NOS Energy Drink here on FloRacing. Catching up with USAC Sprint Car Champion Kyle Cummins. You were talking to crew there, and I don't know, you're just saying this car isn't taking off like the way you wanted to.
Just missing just a little bit. We'll get her tuned in there, though. Eric was Stanton will have it done, but that's one of them nervous ones, right? You start on the pole, you really need to win it and get us into a qualifier there. But Kevin Swindell's prepared an unbelievable race car, and I've never drove anything quite like it. I got to change my driving style a little bit, but the thing's got drive, and it's really good. And just got to say hey to my wife and kids at home, Carson and crew. And my daughter wants me to give her peace, so missing them, and hopefully we can have a good run here in the qualifier.
Kyle Cummins has 6 prelim starts. His best finish came back in 2021, which was a second place, guys.
Thank you, Earl. And like you said, it doesn't matter who you are, Caleb. The nerves are real, whether you're Kyle Cummins or you're a rookie.
Chris Hartman going to be feeling them right now as we roll out for heat race number 4. Tim Creech the second, Josh Hanna, Caden Sorelli, Cody Weissensell, Ryan Burnell, Henry Chambers, Donnie Gentry, and Jacob Denny, your 9 cars, going 8 times around to add some scores to the list right now. High point came out of the last one, CJ Leary at 116.
Jacob Denny's turn, starting where CJ did back in the 9th spot. Would love to go 1 or 2 spots higher. The opportunity is there. Certainly, Burnell's going to be tough outside of row number 3. He's going to look to walk away with this one.
Got to get there first.
Yes. And you have to survive the start. Racetrack beginning to widen out just a little bit. Not getting as high as I thought, but at least where the groove is at, the racetrack's beginning to change. A little bit of a slick developing as well.
There's been passing that we've seen. There has not been a race where you aren't able to get by the road in front of you, as they're going to bounce off each other a bit on the front row. Down into 1 and 2 from the outside. It's Creech the second looking for the spot.
Burnell's going to have to go around the outside and try to make something in the fluff there. Gets out of at least a little bit of a danger spot with Hanna's one around right in front of the top half of the field.
Yeah, so it was Hartman who ends up bobbling and stalling her out there. And Caden Sorelli, quick hands and quick reaction time to dart around to the outside and hang on to the spot. But Hartman, your opening lap leader, now going off at least down to the back. Let's watch it again here in the K1 Race Gear Instant Replay. And just like that, leader to last.
Tip of the cap to the rest of the field, though, avoiding contact with Hartman. And, that's one of the difficult things for a Ryan Burnell, or even what CJ Leary had to deal with, as well as Jacob Denny. It's you're trying to anticipate where the drivers ahead of you are going to go, especially on these double file starts. It's just so difficult. You're trying to think, what are their, what are they anticipating to do? What am I going to anticipate to do? And then obviously your plan always goes up in smoke when the green flag flies.
Right. It's Mike Tyson who said everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the mouth.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good way to put it.
Tim Creech the second brings us down. Green flag out. He's got Sorelli dive bombing the inside. Caden Sorelli from second to the lead. And Burnell looking to get underneath and follow him on by. Couple Californians getting after it up the front of this. 1-2 Sorelli and Burnell. Burnell with third. Going to be up for contention as Denny's coming up, and we got one upside down big time coming through the turn.
Henry Chambers saw the right rear shock just explode off that car. Major damage for the Chambers machine, who calls Baldwin City, Kansas home, and that was a nasty tumble for the 1H. But you mentioned Jacob Denny, up to 4th, up 5 positions. There he is just ahead of this accident, and a little bit of contact. That car already off the ground as it made contact off of turn number 2 in the back straightaway wall. Take a look at it one more time in real time. Oh, yeah. See the shock just dangling there as Brian Ward is on the scene. The hook to the rear of the car, and there's a lot of damage on the 1H, Brian.
Yeah, they were worried about the front end to see if he was going to be able to move, but it's just kind of cockeyed here, and they'll be able to drag the car off the racetrack. Good to see belts getting undone, steering wheels off, helmets off. So good to see drivers all right after that wild one. But yeah, like you said, the right rear shock broke, a lot of damage on the front end. There's going to have to be a lot repaired and replaced on this one. I can see the Jacobs ladder and the torsion arm all broke off the bird cage. A lot of damage to the right rear.
Thank you, Brian. But like he mentioned, good news is helmet off, driver okay, as they get the dolly that has been put to use ever since the Tulsa shootout. It still survives, Caleb.
Somehow that wheel looked like it was ready to fall off 3 weeks ago. When we come back to green, Jacob Denny, like you said, up into fourth. It's Sorali and Burnell. Creech is the one interrupting Denny from making that a three-car tango up in the front of the field. That could be a lot of fun. Sorali looking good. See if Burnell can get him here on this restart. Only 2 down, 6 to go as they're coming back to the apex of the corner, which is supposed to be the earliest you can accelerate. And the yellow lights flick back on.
And you see the drivers sticking their hand out just to alert everybody they're checking up, just to avoid any potential disasters. So sitting right now, Burnell with a 113, Denny 116. And so Jacob Denny would tie Leary if this is how they'd finish. But I know we are nowhere close to being done. Both these drivers trying to wrestle away the top spot as far as passing points in heat race number 3. Lights back out around the speedway. Sorali at the point. He's got company with Burnell, Creech, and Denny. Back under the green flag we go.
It's another good start for Sorali down the back straightaway, although the car tries to step out and around from him in the exit of 2. Here's Burnell back up on him. Denny did not get by Creech on that first lap back. 5 to go. Can Sorali hold off Burnell?
Yeah, and this is killing Jacob Denny. He finally gets to the inside of Creech for that 3rd position, but they are now almost a half straightaway back from the battle from the lead as you see Burnell all over the back end of Sorali coming to 3 laps to go. Patience here for Burnell, trying to find the opportunity to pounce.
Caden's getting into the corner fine. Corner exit, not as good as I think you would hope, but Burnell unable to do anything with him. He is yet to try swinging outside. Maybe look for an outside in move, maybe time in the corner off to try to sneak a nose there, but Caden Sorali technically pretty good so far with Denny now up on the back of Burnell to threaten on the final lap.
Denny had a really good set of corners that last lap. Going to get close to Burnell. Needs a little bit more here as they go into 3 and 4 for the final time. Sorali's going to hang on, and Burnell second. Jacob Denny finishes 3rd, so a 9-3 run, 116 for Jacob Denny will tie high points. Burnell, 6-2, 113, I should say. So there you go. Denny, Burnell, and Sorali 115.
Yeah, from the outside of row number 2. So a lot of big scores there. New tie for High Point, new tie for the row in behind them, as we've got Leary and Denny at 116, Bacon and Sorali at 115. They're all getting tightly packed in there as we're going FloRacing onboard style the next time by Chris Wilner. Check it out. Christopher Bell letting us have the in-car camera up.
The live in-car camera, which has been a little bit of a mixed bag. We had Michael Pickens the other night launch one after an accident in turns 3 and 4. Timez gave us a great shot yesterday, finishing 4th in the feature. Now Christopher Bell going to pilot with us. We're going to get to ride along the 21 around this Expo Raceway. It's going to be a lot of fun as Christopher Bell will be on the pole of heat race number 5 and looking to keep pace with Kyle Larson as far as preliminary nights are concerned.
He starts first. It's the field in and around him that's going to be interesting here in this heat race. As Joe Boyle's right next to him in the 98 Beep. Sam Haferteep Jr., the ASCS national champion, and Tommy Colburn in row number 2. Braden Sierra-Monte and Trevor Klein, the young guns, in row number 3. Logan Julian and Ashton Torgerson in row number 4, with Chad Freewalt starting 9th. She's loaded. Let's go up top. TJ Ford's pit report. Blake Anderson.
Yeah, I got Caden Sorelli. Caden, a heck of a run there, holding off Ryan Bernal. How's the racetrack sorting out? Is it sorting out to your liking? You had a good run there.
Yeah, no, I had a good run there. I just got lucky. I think there early was able to get the lead. And I don't know, from the last couple races before that, I saw a couple guys running the top there in 1 and 2. I knew it really wasn't there in 3 and 4. I don't know, I thought my best bet there was just to hug the bottom, and that's what I did, and it ended up working out. So.
Worked out just fine. Picked up the heat race win, guys. The BCRA and USAC Western States midget champion this year had a heck of a season.
Didn't go through nearly enough tear-offs for his own liking, I'm sure.
Sure.
Spending a lot of time fixing race cars. So hopefully this opportunity for Logan, one of the young studs of the IRA, got to spend a lot of time with Steve Sinclair last night. Out and about.
Top lane, though, deep in this field. Trevor Klein in that 6th spot and Ashton Torgerson are going to be fun to watch as well.
The inside of them's really good,
yes,
too, with Sierra Monte and Julian. Like I said, there's a lot of guys to watch here. Christopher Bell making it, or trying to make it, so that we don't have opportunity to watch him with any of them, as he is trying to streak away from Sam Hafertein Jr.
Bell leads lap 1 over Hafertein Jr. Gaggle here for 3rd. Shiramonte, quickest in Dirt Draft Hot Lap's going to pull away in 3rd. Ashton Torgerson already up to 4th. Joe Boyle's going the wrong direction. Here comes Klein with him as well. Has won it up and over the berm. I think that was the 31T of Tommy Colburn. Nearly got it wound back up. And now your battle up front. That's for 3rd. Shiramonte crossed up off turn number 4. Here comes Torgerson.
This is going to be fun between these three. Shiramonte, Torgerson, and Klein rolling in. Torgerson gets up, around, and down, but Shiramonte, there is absolutely no give up in this kid. Back to the bottom, comes back after him, can't make the move in 1.
8-3 for Ashton Torgerson, and we're just past halfway. 3 laps to go. Bell on cruise control as you ride on board on the right side of your screen with the 3-time Chili Bowl champ.
It's a lot different than what we saw out of Pickens. Look how smooth Bell's ride is. And we had some T-Mez in-car last night that was also pretty rocky. This looks like a cruise in a Cadillac for Christopher Bell.
Trevor Klein now a little farther back, sitting 5th. He would love another position here on Braden Shiramonte, but already the white flag is out. Bell halfway down the back straightaway is going to walk the dog in heat race number 5. A 100 quick points for Christopher Bell. Then it's a ways back to 2nd. Sam Hafertein Jr. able to hold on for that position. Ashton Torgerson, the biggest mover, 8-3. Going to wind up with 111 points for the driver of the 67A.
How about that? Margin of victory, 3.1 seconds. That's how good Bell was in front of a good rest of the field as well, with Torgerson making more than enough to be a factor.
Down the ramp they go for heat race number 6. We are picking them up and putting them down here on Hasty Bake qualifying night. And as those cars hit the racetrack, Earl Hoon Jr. is ready with Christopher Bell.
Christopher Bell getting his 9th win in his Chili Bowl career. But we could talk about you winning the heat race and the car setup. But something I want to know, are you more nervous in this building as a driver or as a car owner now?
Definitely as a car owner. I would go a little bit further and say as a crew chief, just sweating the changes, wondering if I got the balance right. But thankfully we had the Race of Champions on Monday. Caden ran, what was that, Tuesday. So got a little bit more track notes and happy to be here, having a ton of fun, getting a race with some buddies and family.
Christopher Bell this weekend looking to take his 4th Golden Driller come Saturday night, guys.
Yeah, and how special would that be, Caleb, in your own equipment that you have built from the ground up? Of course, Colton is there to kind of help him as well as his father-in-law, Brian Kemenaw, who he's been with for several years, whether it was the micro program and now the midgets. That's really cool.
Honestly, as fast as that car is, I don't know what he's sweating right now. He is fast. John Padilla, Cameron LaRose make up row number 1 here of heat race number 6. Spencer Baston and Cameron Hagan in row number 2. Parker Jones, Carter Sarf, Chance Crum, Carter Jensrud, and Cody Beard making up 9 cars here in heat number 6. We're getting through heat races. The drivers we're expecting are making qualifiers. Once we get into qualifiers and we can really see, all right, what does Bell look like? We've seen him against the good competition that was in that heat race, and he waxed them. Let's see what happens when he goes mano-a-mano with a Baston. right?
Yeah.
If Spencer can put together the run we think he's capable of, or maybe Carter Sarf has got some extra speed in that car and he's going to come up and jump up and surprise us here. Don't know, but we're going to find out.
Yeah, I think Carter Sarf certainly is one to watch. I mean, obviously what he's done in this building in the past, and it just was heartbreak for him a year ago, but back with Chase Briscoe Racing, this 5 car absolutely just rips inside this building, and I know Chase is here in the building, excited to watch and be a fan as a car owner, but it's been so much fun wherever Carter races, whether it's on the national scale or not. He when he needs to put him up there to go get it done, he will, and Carter will be fun to watch here. The Shark going to roll off outside row 3.
Keep your eyes on the guy behind him, Parker Jones in the 41J, the Badger Midget champ from 24 and 25. He's got a good piece there as well, as Baston already picking up a full row on the start.
Yeah, that was huge, as Padilla had all sorts of issues on the pole. So quickly, this one's going to shake out with Cameron LaRose at the top of the board. Here comes Spencer Baston with an NOS Energy Drink colors, going to challenge for the lead off of turn number 2. Bye-bye, Spencer Baston.
When you just give a good racer like that all the space, he's going to take it. Baston to the point. Now we're going to see the speed the 1S has. Watch him put down some qualifying laps here out around the front of the field. Got Sarf and Jones, by the way, for 3rd.
Yeah, Carter Sarf starting to get the 5 wound up. Got a little bit bottled on the start. Going to go to the inside of turns 1 and 2. Still behind Jones. Carter can see that probably Baston LaRose pulling away, needs to find a way around. He'll go outside in. Oh, lane change there. Now has to go to the top in 1 and 2. Killed a little bit of the momentum for the 5. Just not quite there, especially in 3 and 4. You heard a couple of the drivers talked about maybe the cushion in 1 and 2 is a little bit better right now. As behind Sarf, it's Crum that's trying to hold off Hagan for 5th, as here comes Carter Sarf all over the back end of Jones again. 2 laps to go.
Sarf picked up 9 feature wins in a row at one point in time over the course of the season. Now he's being forced to use the high side contact between Jones and Sarf. They'll get together, driving away, and down to 1 to go. Jones trying to hold him off in the final lap.
Sarf starting to get a little impatient, as off of 4, Baston's going to make this one look easy. Drag race to the line here for Sarf for 3rd. He'll get it finally after 4 straight laps of just absolutely wearing out Parker Jones. So Sarf with 101. Baston will go 110, putting him solidly there in the top, probably the top 10 in points. Good stuff.
Oh, yeah. We'll take a timeout, catch our breath. Heat races 7, 8, and 9 coming up next. Our coverage of the 40th Annual Chili Bowl Nationals, powered by NOS Energy Drink, continues here on FloRacing.
Spencer Baston racks up a heat race win and 110 points. And Spencer, how big was that start? You picked up an entire row going into turn number 1.
It's how I drew it up, but it doesn't always work out the way you plan. Just with who was on the front row, I needed to get ahead of them as quick as possible and just focus on my race. And through logging laps there, just trying to move around and push it a little bit. Slipped off the bottom a couple times. Just trying to figure out where this car's limit is. And we've been changing a few different things, just trying to make sure the thing's versatile through the rest of the week. So we're off to a good start. Just got to thank everyone at the RMS team, NOS Energy Drink, everyone that's cheering us on this week back home.
The 2017 USAC NOS Energy Drink National Midget Champion picked up a prelim win here 2 years ago, and tonight looks to lock into his 12th straight prelim main event.
Off to the start he was looking for, as we go to heat race number 7. Caleb Henry, Sean Deskins front row. Jeff Stassa, Jeffrey Abbey in the second row. Matt Johnson, Cole Wackham, there we go. Alex Vandevort, Xavier Doney, Caleb Padgett, the 9 cars here in this one. Wakeham. There you go. I heard it earlier. It's not sticking, but we're working on it.
We'll get
Wakeham.
there. Wakeham. So some characteristics a little bit different between 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Outside lane worked for Carter Sarf there at the very end, but it took several laps. Still trying to. It's a narrow racetrack still as we work heat race number 7.
But it's
a racy
they've been
narrow.
able to move on it.
Yeah, it's a racy narrow, but you've got to be really precise. You can't just let it hang out high, wide, all the way up to the racetrack. So let's see what happens here. Contact to the tail of the field. We're not even going to go, and that's the very, very back. Is that Vandevort in the 1 and the 10 of Caleb Padgett.
Stasa also spun out. It was inside row number 2.
And again, remember, passing points are calculated coming to the initial drop of the green. So how they'll line up now, granted, Caleb Paget started shotgun on the field, will at least help a couple of cars as you see what happened there. I didn't see what happened to Stasa, though.
I didn't either. Either way, stopped on the racetrack, and he was going to get yarded to the back of the field.
So if that's the case, then Matt Johnson will at least get the beneficiary of a row.
All those drivers in the back of the field going, thank you.
Uh-huh.
I'll take that. Stasa fires off. He'll go to the back after starting again inside row number 2.
Caleb Paget was trying to get refired as well. The Southern United Sprints racer with a few top 5 finishes this year, as Henry will lead the field to green when we get back underway. And we'll have a complete restart again. We did not get a lap in the books, so we get to jumble the field and figure out who is where. You see Stasa leaving a hole as we crisscross some of the beneficiaries after the lap 1 accident.
Drivers communicating with our scoring tower, or the scoring tower communicating with our drivers more accurately over the receiver radios or whatever in-cockpit communication receiver they're choosing to run. Everybody on the same frequency, telling them, all right, move in, move up, move in and around. One-way communication only for those of you who are a little less familiar with open-wheel dirt racing, as opposed to the two-way radios that you see in a lot of the pavement world. No in-cockpit communication from driver outbound to anybody.
Yes.
No mirrors either.
No mirrors, no spotters.
You have a weird version of a spotter here at the Chili Bowl, though.
Yes, you do.
Right? You don't have somebody in your ear telling you car low, car high, but you watch those guys on the back straightaway, and they've got signalers back there that are trying to tell them, hey, get up, get down, you got one coming, whatever signals they're trying to use, right? In that section of grandstand that they're going by right now, so
Jeffrey Abbey will go to the inside of row number 2 as we get the restart here. Heat race number 7, and it's Caleb Henry with Sean Deskins going to slot into second. There is Abbey in third in the 8J as they are just hopping all over the place, and hang on to it, Sean Deskins.
Yeehaw, Sean.
Well, and yeehaw the 73 as well of Cole Wakeham.
Hey, Jeff Scott's rallying back forward.
Yeah.
Nice move, Jeff.
And Beep Beep coming through as the Swindell machine.
Doney kind of elbows up and forcing his way back up the field as well. So Doney's 91. Rolling in on the inside. Deskins has got his hands full here. That car does not look like it wants to turn.
That car, absolutely a handful. You can just see the hand movement of Sean Deskins. Settles it down there that time. Oh, big time upside down. Alex Vandevoort going for a ride. Paying the spectators off turn 4 a visit. That was vicious.
He flipped a long ways. It got some height and got some velocity with it.
Man, riding in the 7th spot.
That beautiful Shriners Hospital copper-colored design. You saw a whole lot of it there in adding to the Eibach Springs flip count.
Out of the race car, you see the right front in the safety officials just carrying it away. As we add now 33 to the Eibach flip count, and a lot of damage aboard that machine. We were just paying notice to Xavier Doney's move up 4 positions. Here's what happened. All by himself up on the bike, and over she went in a big way.
Might need the bucket for that one.
I'm sure it's close. But the good news, Alex out of the race car. Brian Wardy's going to take a seat with his right front next to you there on the side-by-side.
Yeah, we've got Alex here climbing on the back, the Knoxville driver coming down here. No stranger to Oklahoma. Used to run a lot of go-kart racing down here. Oh, they're going to found his receiver here. A wild ride there going end over end, kind of a hard impact. How are you feeling, Alex?
Yeah, that, sorry, excuse me. Didn't feel very good. You know, obviously it pulled the front end, but I really thought I got out of it quick enough. I didn't, you know. I mean, I'm not a midget racer. I run wing sprint cars, and obviously that just proved it. But, you know, I'm trying. I guess I just wanted it too bad.
Well, hate to see you on the hook. Hope you can get it repaired and see you back for one of these sub-main.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Also, happy birthday to the official driving the side-by-side. Nice little touch on the banner there on the side-by-side. Happy birthday.
Hey, that works out. Maybe he was wishing Big Al a happy birthday.
Maybe. Happy birthday, Big Al. Green flag back in the air. Caleb Henry, Jeffrey Abbey, and Jeff Stassa, after being involved in that coming to green crash, up to third. Xavier Doney fourth. And the Sammy Swindell 91, and he'll go top shelf in 1 and 2, leaving the door open for Sean Deskins, who dropped several positions in the opening laps.
I'm waiting to see if somebody tries to go heroes up to the high side here, and it's going to be Wakeham who does it in the 73. That top has looked questionable. Here goes Doney, but somebody's got to give it a shot. Doney gave it a run, brought it back down to work on Stassa as we've got the white flag out. There's 1 to go.
Doney a lot better in 1 and 2. 3 and 4 still giving drivers several fits. They're just tied up on the cushion. Doney's going to try it one more time. Checkered flag is out. And we'll settle into that 4th spot. So Doney 8 to 4, the biggest mover. Up to Jeffrey Abbey will score 93 points. Or 103 points, excuse me. And Caleb Henry a 1-1 with 100.
Tonight's been the biggest concentration of drivers winning from the pole in their heat races that I remember this week. That is the 4th driver to win from inside row number 1 on this. And it's been all of the odd number heat races that's happened. 1, 3, 5, and 7. Winners in heat race number 2 and 4 both came from 4th. Winner in heat race number 6 came from 3rd. So if that's any indication, our eyeballs should be on Danny Stratton and Brant Woods coming up in this next one.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love those patterns.
I know. You're just full of trends today.
You saying I'm trending?
You're a trendy guy.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. NOS Energy Drink Ramp Cam. It is heat number 8. Jacob Hughes and Sam Henderson make up the front row. Danny Stratton in the Bondio 47. Brant Woods, the 14F. Brad Wyatt, Colton Cottle, Joe Walker, Josh Balicki, the NASCAR star in the 40B, and PJ. Oh, come on. I got this written down.
Gargiulo? Or Gargiulo?
Gargiulo.
Gargiulo. Ridley Park, Pennsylvania. Good to see Colton Cottle back in the field as well. And as we get the cars fired off around the racetrack, let's go up to Earl Hoon Jr. for a TJ Forge pit report.
Got Caleb Henry here with me, guys. He was last year's All-Star Circuit of Champions champion, buddy. How about that, a heat race win?
Yeah, not too bad for a wing car guy. Really thankful for the opportunity. You know, Corey Joyner's given me, Kyle Jones on the wrenches, and all of our sponsors, you know, Pub 400, Butler Bill, G-Hood, and everybody else that's a part of this deal. If it weren't for them, we wouldn't be able to be here. So hopefully our night continues off the way it's been going. You know, it's been a lot of fun working with them, and I feel like we just keep making improvements every time we're on the racetrack. So hi to the family back home. Miss ya. I wish you guys were here, but hopefully I'm making you guys proud on TV.
Caleb Henry was able to get 5 feature wins last year, 4 in All-Star competition, and 1 win at Fremont.
Absolutely. Yeah, happy to have him back here. And, of course, he's going to ramp up his season a little bit quicker than maybe we expected it to, running a truck down at Daytona coming up in Speed Weeks. Be a lot of fun. Have him back in NASCAR.
It was interesting hearing about what that truck experience is going to look like for him on the Chili's pre-race show for the Chili Bowl Nationals yesterday with Chase and Tony and Brian. That was a fascinating interview. Go back to the Flow archives and find it if you want to hear everything Smoke had to say.
Absolutely. But we're about underway with heat race number 8. Jacob Hughes, Sam Henderson, the front row. Henderson will go and slot into second from the outside lane as Hughes will get the whole shot down the back straightaway, keeping an eye on Brant Woods. You mentioned that outside lane, one to watch. One up the hill at the back end of the field. Woods trying to make something happen as here comes the Bondio 47. Danny Stratton on the move.
Stratton's got second. I don't think that outside groove is like just a sling it in, grab it, and hold it kind of deal. It's taking some precision to run it because there's not a lot up there to grab onto you. You can see guys getting way up into the fluff if they miss it, but there is speed.
Yeah, unlike yesterday, not really a curb to hold on to. It'll easily send you up and over the edge as Stratton will rip a tear off and go after your leader. We'll go double box, battle for the lead on your left. Here comes Woods on your right, a little bit deeper in the field. Checking out the 40B of Josh Balicki in that orange and black car, trying to make some moves. He's back in the 6th spot. As back up front, Stratton wants the lead away from Hughes.
Boy, look at that car just dig on the right-hand side of it. He gets to the bottom and just fires off, launching down the back straightaway. Has not been able to get past Hughes yet. Now, Henderson up on Stratton. As we're about to have about a 4-car party on this final lap for one spot.
Yeah, no kidding. Henderson is there. Brant Wood starting to close in as well. As up and over the berm goes Stratton. That opens the door outside for the 10J of Sam Henderson. Henderson now on attack mode for Danny Stratton here on the white flag lap. They'll come around to turns 3 and 4. Hughes is going to hang on. And Stratton will hang on to second, but Brant Woods will sneak in there for third at the last lap.
Well, let's give the flowers to Jacob Hughes. That was 8 laps around the bottom, just like he needed to make, with a ton of pressure from Danny Stratton on the way. Hughes, 100-pointer for him, getting the job done. Way to go, Jacob. As we'll check in with Blake Anderson and a TJ Forge pit report.
A pumped-up Jacob Hughes, Chili Bowl rookie, picks up a heat race win. Jacob, you had to earn that one. How the heck did you hold off Saturday night A-main starter Danny Stratton to pick up that win?
No idea. Just did it. I don't know. That's more laps than I've ever ran in a midget before. These Morton guys got me going good. Colton, Seth, Lane, Cade, Chance, all of them. I'd like to say hi to my mom and dad at home. Thanks to everybody who got me into this deal. We just won a heat race at the Chili Bowl, and I don't think a lot of people even thought I should be here.
Jacob Hughes, 15th in points this year at Knoxville Raceway in the 410 in his rookie season there, a best run of 13th in July. He just picks up a heat race win, and they are pumped back here at the top of the ramp, guys.
As they should be.
No kidding. Job well done, Jacob. That was a valiant run, and any win at the Chili Bowl special, Caleb.
Hey, it is. This one's going to be interesting, guys. The front row, Ryan Roulette and Danny Sams the third, with about 10 laps of midget racing in between their practices, and that's it. Tony Pennick and Tanner Thorson, row number 2. Brady Ransom and Andrew Deal in row number 3. Robert Carson and Kevin Newton, Matthew Recheck make up the rest of the field. We talked about it a little bit coming in. There's a lot of question marks in those first couple of rows just due to those drivers not having a lot of seat time in these cars, and Tanner Thorson's got to be careful.
Well, and especially with the racetrack of what we're seeing now, Caleb, so Tanner's got to be really patient here. Obviously, the doors may open just depending on what happens on the initial start, but certainly the racetrack characteristics here, it'll be interesting to see the decision-making process for a Tanner Thorson, even an Andrew Deal right behind him as well. You see Thorson starting to roll in the top side of the racetrack. He wants to see what's up there before we get to the green.
I'm into the memory banks here, and I'm remembering heat races of days of yore. Thorson has been willing to let the field string out a little bit before hitting the go button, and I wonder if that's not in the battle plan here. Let them get outside of each other, no longer side by side, and then go for it.
Well,
or shoot the gap on lap 1.
Well, we're going to come back and try this again, but that was certainly an interesting start. Andrew Deal almost up and over after some contact. You saw the kind of Ryan Roulette machine on the pole not quite get the jump, but little contact with Tony Pennick.
With the world's biggest rookie ribbon. Seriously, that thing's like 70.
I know. Doesn't that add a little drag?
Aerodynamics in race cars are fun.
Yeah, I know. Well, Andrew Deal survives.
It might be hitting the tire. It's so long.
I know.
This time Roulette does not take off.
I think
Thorson says, all right, bye.
Yeah. I think just Roulette was caught sleeping there, as Thorson will easily take the lead and roll away. Coming up into that second spot, Danny Sams at third, but now he's upside down on the front straightaway. Welcome to the Chili Bowl, Danny Sams.
Ooh. Florida man flips wildly down front stretch of Chili Bowl. News at 11.
And that's a wadded up front end. You saw the thumbs up initially from the safety crew, and then now they're calling for the hook. Take a look at what happened off of 4.
Just dug in on the right front.
Yeah, but it wasn't like he was all the way up kind of on that ramp either. He was about a few inches off the top side.
Okay, so watching in slow-mo, was starting to come up the ramp and then unhooked coming off of it?
Yeah. That was a little bizarre. Just set a shock right up there. Got to see the right front completely mangled. That shock bent on the left front. I'm sure the drag link there is also cattywampus.
Well, there's the Eibach Springs coilover cover on the coilover. Eibach Springs flip count up to 34 and a big wreck for Danny Sams III.
He was so excited, too, about this opportunity. I mean, on the heels of an impressive season last year with High Limit and getting that win, and that was pretty emotional. And now comes here for his first Chili Bowl, and that's going to be a long night for Danny Sams and team as the fence now has to be repaired. You see Cody Cordell, Matt Ward there in the beard getting to work.
$2,100 now?
Wow.
So the 8 or 9 drivers who list Northwest hometowns, Montana, Idaho, Washington, Oregon, British Columbia, all eligible for that one. Brady in the running there. Highest finisher through Saturday's main events will be the one who ends up getting that money.
Well, he's going to have work to do as we're already back underway. Tanner Thorson dispatches of Ryan Roulette. Andrew Deal now up to second. Cartwheeling down the back straightaway. End over end is Kevin Newton.
I don't know we can call it the commentator's curse if everybody crashes in the heat race, but wow.
Man, that was big. Kevin Newton goes for a wild ride in the 3U. And they'll gently tip him back over. We'll take a look at what happened to Kevin. And, yeah, contact there with 57A of Matthew Recheck.
Off the front end of him that sends him pogo sticking down the back straightaway.
Recheck was pushing up toward the wall, took a left-hand turn. You even saw him get out of the gas. See him above the cushion there, tried to find a hole, ramped up over his own Nerf bar.
Well, look at the chunk of Nerf bar that got left in the racetrack.
Yeah.
Watch.
You see him just bam.
That's bonkers.
Well, we've got a stoppage in the action on the racetrack. Welcoming into the booth, Clinton Boyles.
Hi, guys.
How's Dad doing?
Dad's okay. He's happy. He's happy the race car runs.
All right.
Started outside Christopher Bell, so.
Yeah, I mean, hot laps. He didn't run in hot laps either, so we got that all sorted out finally. And yeah, I mean, starting outside of Christopher Bell, that's a tough draw. And
that was a fascinating heat race, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a very good heat race. I mean, and I love my dad to death, but he doesn't race near enough to try to outrace Christopher Bell there or anything. So he's happy to be making laps, and it's good. It's fun to get to work with him.
We had said if you're Christopher Bell, boy, you got to be happy starting next to Joe Boyles. You know he's not going to run you dirty.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to think he's not going to do anything crazy or drive over you. So yeah,
it's not like he's going to not drive hard, but he's not going to dirty you up.
Yep.
So they take the Kevin Newton car up the racetrack. You saw Kevin just take that lonely walk back up the ramp.
Yeah, obviously I just got down here, but Kevin was from the back to the front in a pretty good ways, right? 8-3 or something like that.
Yeah, he started courtesy of quite a bit of attrition, but yes,
I've seen entire heat race outside of the top 2 has spun or flipped.
There's been a lot of cars on the hook tonight, from what I've been watching.
Well, and you've had a chance, too, being with your dad to see the racetrack, and obviously it started greasier than I've ever seen it. I mean, holy cow, it's a skating rink, but even now, ninth heat race, Clint, there's nothing to lean on. It's still kind of narrow, but it's racy, but it's also, you got to be really precise.
You do, and the weird part about the dirt right now is that it has moisture, but it doesn't have a ton of, I'm going to call it bite. It doesn't just grab a hold of your tire and let you rip down to the next corner. So, it's wet, but you still need to kind of tighten up to have your car create grip, but at the same time it's starting to build a cushion, so then you're tight off the cushion, and yeah, it's throwing these guys for a bit of curveball.
So we will try this now for what seems like the 100th time, but it's Ryan Roulette and Tanner Thorson. Thorson just trying to get a clean start here, and we're underway. Hopefully again he just gets launched out of a cannon. Andrew Deal does the same thing, quickly gets up to second. Tony Pennick back there as well as Recheck tries to fight his way through.
Recheck battling with Carson in the 99. That's the powder blue car that's working through. And Recheck on the move. He's working to the outside of Roulette for position. Getting fourth.
Well, he's started 9th on the initial green, so recheck up 6 positions. That's a solid points day for a driver who's been caught up in a couple of incidents in this race. Tony Pennick with that rookie ribbon trying to use the outside lane. With Carson still on attack mode, Roulette there on the bottom, just trying to hammer the inside berm to get that 67 to turn. Tanner Thorson is gone. Andrew Deal not close enough. Pennick now high wide up and over the fluff. But we're getting laps in the book.
I like what Pennick's doing. He's here to sell T-shirts and run the high side. As you get a look, Tanner Thorson. This is, now that he got to the front and got away from that initial scary, is exactly what he wants. Easy, testing kind of laps.
And he'll get to the back of the field here on the white flag lap. He had a almost 4-second lead as he tries to get around the Ransom 21R. Will do so, and off of 4, Tanner Thorson 113, 4-1 in the 9th and final heat race. Andrew Deal comes home 2nd after starting in the 6th position, so a 6-2 run of 113 as well. As you take a look at it, 115, 113, your top points getter. Recheck, though, that's the one that caught my attention, 116 after all the attrition.
Tied for high point.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Congratulations, Matt Recheck. Shocker.
Absolutely. Worth celebrating for sure. Let's go to the top of the ramp and Earl Hoon Jr.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, here with the 2022 Chili Bowl champion, Tanner Thorson. Tanner, a hell of a ride there. This car is hooked up, but tell me, how easy do you have to take it out there when you reach those lap traffic cars?
Yeah, definitely. The car's really good. We've been working hard on it. Haven't been 100% satisfied since we've been in the building so far, and I feel like that's just a re-evolving door for me when I come in here, just trying to make stuff better, and some of it works, some of it doesn't. But yeah, definitely a big pace difference for some of them guys, and it's part of it, man. It's part of this building. You gotta make your own luck in a sense, in a way. And yeah, we got a hot rod. We'll go back and tune on it some more and see if we can't get it better.
Tanner Thorson, guys, trying to make his 13th straight prelim.
Talk about guys starting to stack some prelim A main event appearances up.
Yeah.
Tanner Thorson adding to the list. We had just heard today that Brady is up to 16 now? Something like that. As we get ready for the first of 2 D main events, coverage now continuing here at the 40th Annual Chili Bowl Nationals, powered by NOS Energy Drink here on FloRacing. Cars have made their way down the ramp, our first of 2 D main events. 11 cars, 10 laps and 2 moving forward. Cody Beard and PJ Gargiulo in row number 1. Brady Ransom, Josh Hanna in row 2. Brandon Maddox and Tommy Colburn in row number 3. Mike Sullivan and Alex Vandervoort in row number 4. Colton Cottle, Sean Robbins, John Padilla making up the 11 cars going for 10 laps.
A lot of these race cars had issues in the heat race, like Alex Vandervoort. As take a look at the cars that had made the call, he in fact did make it. So Vandervoort, who went for that huge backstretch tumble not too long ago, tip of the cap to the crew for getting that machine put back together and able to make the call for D feature number 1. Looking for 2 that'll tag the tail end of C feature number 1 in a little bit.
Very tight turnaround for a lot of these drivers to get these cars thrashed and back into shape. And now they've got to get their heads, focused on, straight, screwed on, and ready to go they got a job. And, depending on the size of their crew, they're probably in there thrashing on the car itself, helping out, working out.
We got to stack up. Can't park there. Well, I mean, I guess you can, but it's not good for you. So Colton Cottle at the tail end of that train. Also parked is the Brady Ransom machine.
Ransom, the first one in that line. All right, well, we hit the FloRacing replay, and...
Up.
Sometimes you just can't make this stuff up.
Nope. All right.
It's a D-main. As opposed to the D-main on Saturday, which will be absolutely loaded.
Yeah.
Your D-main on your preliminary night, guys may already be having a night that they're ready to ride off.
Yeah. Have you, Clinton, made your way over to the Rowdies yet this week?
No. I've been in here. I mean, Yeah.
There wasn't a moment you could, take 5 minutes, go over there, visit, let us know what's going on. I went yesterday. It was a lot of fun. Today, it's actually sponsored by Millbridge. They got the cowbells over there.
Oh, nice.
It's
No. I spent every second in the booth.
Yeah.
With you guys here on FloRacing.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, we do.
If someone wants to give me a mic and let me go over there, and then I could be on the clock, maybe. But
hey, it's been done. It's been done.
Yeah, I might go over there tomorrow on my preliminary night. Like, if I'm an early heat race, late heat race, go, watch a couple, hang out over there. It's always a good place to chill. It's pretty calm.
It's an interesting place to watch a race.
Yeah.
Well, Brady Ransom thought he was going back to the front. It is no longer
Oh, man.
Colton
Knock the
Cottle.
left front shock off that thing.
That's terrible.
It's just when your chili bowl goes from bad to worse.
And unfortunately, first car out in the D main. Welcome to the Q on Saturday morning. No, not the QUE. The Q main event.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
9 a.m. on Saturday. You'll get some hot laps.
Was talking to Len up in the media room on Sunday. He's like, yep, 404. We'll see Qs this time.
Unreal.
Boy.
Depending on how many people show up. It's frequent for those Qs and Ps to get rolled into making a very big MNO of some kind. Depends on how many people show up, right?
Yeah. It's been a rough couple years here at the Chili Bowl for Colton Cottle as we get the field doubled up, ready to go. D feature number 1, 10 laps, top 2. Moving on.
Here's Ulo trying to go way up and around on that start to get him a run down the back straightaway. Only 2 advance, and boy, they're fighting for it. Tooth and nail. Here's Ulo. Had it on lap number 1, but we're going to have to try it again. We got one upside down.
Yeah, that's John Padilla. And the 11P started shotgun on the field, saw some fluid being spewed out as that car came back on all 4 tires. See what happened. Did he get it completely up and over? Oh, yeah, big old tumble. Yeah, that's oil. See the hole in the oil can.
It's a big one.
Take a look from the speed shot. Man, just send it in there, Clint. They're nothing to grab hold.
You asked us what you missed out of, the fast guys and moving earlier. You missed some flips. We had some guys get some airtime and some distance.
As long as I could get Flow loaded on my phone, I was tuned into Flow also, so I saw a few, and it felt like every time I got it to load, it was someone being towed off.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty well par for the course on a few of those.
Cell phone service in the building is getting tougher by the day.
Well, it's packed in here.
Yes.
There's a lot of people. Brian?
Guys, coming down the back straightaway, Padilla was trying to get a run on the outside of Vandervoort in the 1 car, and he really just washed up in the right rear, tagged that wall there at the entrance to turn number 3. That's what sent that car over for a tumble.
And he went big. Who was the one earlier on the front straightaway that went big time? Was it Vandervoort? It was Vandervoort. The Shriner's car, yeah.
Vandervoort had the front stretch, and then we had the one big on the back stretch,
Kevin
too.
Newton.
Yes.
Yeah, Kevin went big time.
Kevin's a pilot, but I didn't figure he probably wanted to go flying tonight.
Not that kind of sky pilot.
Try it again. Off of turn number 4, Beard and Gargiulo. And, this time a little bit cleaner start on the outside lane for PJ. And Beep coming through on the bottom of the racetrack. Brandon Maddox there in the 28B. The Terre Haute, Indiana native trying to march his way into a transfer spot as Beard is going the wrong direction around the outside. The 31T of Tommy Colburn is there. Hannah now under fire. This is just outside the top 5. But now up front, here comes Brandon Maddox. Oh, Maddox hard into the left rear of PJ.
Wow.
Now we've got another one upside down. It's Josh Hannah. What in the world?
Hannah went massive down the backstretch, guys.
See the thumbs up quickly. The first initial thumbs up signaling the driver's okay. Steering wheel coming off. Brian Ward has been busy today.
So I don't know if you got to look at off yesterday.
Yeah, you're.
Holy cow!
Get your steps.
What's crazy is that car's just going to push away.
Let's see what happened here. Back straightaway wall with the right rear. The distance.
Just, I say lucky hits, but top of the cage, kind of top of the cage, top of the cage.
Rear bumpers, it's rotating about 3 times.
I mean, things certainly could have been worse.
He's right in the work area if they needed to, but, well, I think that may have gone up the ramp.
Remember, every spot you get, every 2 spots is a new main thereabout.
Yep.
Single file. Different way to do it. Here's Yulo. Maddox is out. Does give Colburn a chance to start up closer to your lead, too, and he had some speed showing before our last stoppage. Colburn back after the front 2. It's Maddox up on the high side. Here's Yulo down on the low side.
Oh. Maddox is playing with fire.
A lot of trust in PJ there as we've got a pile up off of turn 2. There's Vandevort and the Shriner Children's. And that's the second time we've seen him climb out of the top of the race car and not happy.
It's a good job refraining from that
Thought
steering
about
wheel thrower smash.
See the left front caved in over there. And
me and my steering wheel and my bumper were going home.
Guys, I talked to Alex earlier on the ride. I rode with him all the way to the pit area. He said he didn't even think they were going to make the repairs and make it out for this event because he said we don't have any spares for this race car. And so I knew that they would be pulling some spares for some other competitors around them and try and get this car together. So that's got to be some of the frustration there, knowing that he's got some borrowed parts that he's going to have to replace here.
well, especially to the frustration of just wrong place, wrong time. Sean Robbins just looped it around. Just lazy spin for the 53, collects 2, and you see Vandevort frustrated, walking back for the second time up the ramp to the pit area. Sean Robbins on the hook, I think, for the second time for him as well.
There's been some wanton destruction today.
Uh-huh.
Probably a good thing that Braden Lassiter didn't end up running today, huh? Considering the amount of destruction there has been.
Yeah. Yeah, safety issue on the Brayton Lassiter deal, but for sure. And Vandevort's gonna, I wonder if he's gonna wait for him just to
have a word.
Well, he kept looking back.
I get being frustrated,
Yeah,
but
there's nothing he
guy
can do.
spins out in front of you, you run into him.
Yeah.
I know about that one. I know all about that one.
You ever been in the situation where you were the spinner outer and somebody that ran into you was waiting and wanted to have words?
Man, I think no, but one time I did spin out in front of an entire field leading an A main at Sweet Springs in a micro, and someone clipped my left front. But I've been the idiot before.
Back to green. PJ and Brandon going to get after it here with Colburn, who's been committed to that outside lane since we started this D feature. Going to try to get around. That's the lock-in spot, but boy, all sorts of fits up there in 3 and 4.
He got on that right rear, and the left front started hiking up, and I'm seeing that twisting, corkscrewing flip that we've seen a couple of times happening. Got her settled back down. That was the good news.
Still has plenty of time to roll back in Brandon Maddox. Brandon pushing tight up on the curb, so too is PJ, and now battle for the lead. Brandon Maddox has it, and he'll drive around PJ. So Gargilla back to the second and final transfer spot. Colburn still trying to find his way into a C feature. He's close now. Tags maybe the rear bumper of PJ for a second.
It's just me, Clintners, and Gargiulo have like a 33-gallon tank on that thing.
Oh, man, that was
I'd say it's just me. It's late in the week at this point.
I appreciate the effort, though.
Yeah.
And he's not done yet. He's still got 2 laps to hustle this thing.
Tommy Colburn from Muskego, Wisconsin. throwing cheese to the wind, trying to make something happen here late, but the checker flag's out. It won't be enough. Brandon Maddox and PJ Gargiulo. See what I did there? Throwing cheese to the wind.
I caught it, yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
Wisconsin.
Sometimes I don't know if this rings a bell over here or if it just goes woof.
That one went that way.
Okay, all right.
But in retrospect, I caught up. I'm on the lead lap now.
I appreciate you.
Yeah.
BR Motorsports Speed Shot. We're through 1D feature, one more to go, and then it's a quick turn to the C mains before we get to those all-important qualifiers. Caleb Padgett on the pole of D feature number 2 to the outside of Caleb. Matt Johnson in the 30 car. John Clubundy, Kevin Newton in row number 2. Remember, Newton went for that wild ride earlier in his heat race. Tim Kent, Devin Dobie in row number 3. Henry Chambers, Chris Hartman in row number 4. Eric Guyot and Danny Sams, who also had a massive flip in row number 5 with Chad Freewalt rounding out your field. 11 cars, 10 laps to moving on. It'll just be interesting now to see who makes the call.
Guyot.
I'm going to see. That one's going to get me.
Internet's going to come get you
Newton's
on
out
that
there,
one.
guys.
Is he? Did he make it?
Yeah.
Wow, look at that.
He's swerving down the front stretch, but he's out there. Man, I like Kevin. Kevin's done a lot for the open wheel racing community for sure. I mean, he's been involved in open wheel racing for a long, long time, got out of it, and then, re-announced his presence over the last handful of years. Kevin, a genuine guy and extremely smart. We're lucky to have him involved in our sport.
Earl Hoon Jr. will go back upstairs to you in a TJ Ford's pit report.
Thank you, Chris Villeneuve. Yeah, Terre Haute, Indiana's Brandon Maddox is going to win D feature number 1. You were just telling your crew that possibly you lost brakes out there.
Yeah, we didn't get that good a draw. We was in an early heat race and just kind of full liter hammered down, and we got taken out by somebody spinning out, kind of coming to the flag there at the end of heat 1. So the guys worked their butts off and put a front axle in it, and brakes are very minimal. So I think there's a line there on the bottom, but I couldn't get slowed down to hit it. So we just ripped the top and got through that. So they'll work on it. We'll get a little better, and we'll see if we can get some more.
Brandon Maddox crew, they're going to go to work on this 28B, guys.
There is a booth up in the vendor trade show up there with a hat that says all gas, no brakes. Well, we've got 6 for B main number 2. So early attrition plays a factor and cuts the field in half. Amongst those out there, Caleb Padgett did make the call. And his 47-gallon tail tank, that thing's huge.
No Danny Sams after that wild ride, so he'll have an early Saturday. As we're underway, and we'll let you know who's still in it. But there's Kevin Newton outside of the second row.
It's Matt Johnson driving for the lead in the 30 car.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, my goodness.
There, guys, settle. 77, John Clubundy is the one making the bid for the top spot on the inside right now. Clubundy, Johnson.
Oh, boy.
Come on.
Oh, boy.
Kevin
Come on,
Newton,
Kevin.
sneak in.
Oh,
Did he get low? No.
Patience. There goes the 30 of Johnson back, and here comes Newton again. Battle for the second transfer spot. Kevin Newton has it now. Going to set his sights on Clubundy.
No, Chris. What we learned from Brandon Maddox.
Yes.
All gas.
Oh, boy.
No brakes.
Well, brakes may be a must here in a minute.
Yeah. I promise you, Kevin's using those brakes right now because he goes into the corner 30 mile an hour faster than Clubundy does.
Things settling out for now at the front of the field. Johnson still on the outside looking in, but the top 2 starting to pull away as we keep an eye on Kevin Newton. Trifecta Motorsports 3U just trying to settle in here, figure out what he's got underneath. Because they've got a C-main coming up rather quickly. Clubundy though on the
Scootin just needs Clubundy to hit the bottom one time and he would drive around him, but Clubundy misses the bottom every time Kevin's behind him and just clogs up that top lane.
Coming around, it'll be 2 laps to go. Clubundy and Newton gone from the rest of the field, although I say that, and Johnson's starting to rally the troops here late in the going. Matt Johnson now within a couple car lengths as they come around and see the white flag. Here's Johnson. Oh boy.
Too tight.
1 to go. Where's the other 3? Are they still out there?
Yep.
All right.
About a half track behind. Off at turns 3 and 4. John Clabundi and Kevin Newton going to move on to the back of C feature number 2.
The gap between 3rd and 4th was 4.3 seconds, and then another 1.8 back to 5th, and then another 3.9 back to 6th. Top 2 move. All right, D's are done. C main time coming up, but first we check in with Blake Anderson.
John Clabundi stays alive. Heck of a run there. How tight is it on the bottom to hit your line and make sure you don't go sliding across the racetrack? It looks pretty narrow.
Yeah, it is pretty narrow, and I don't do this a whole bunch, so I'm a little erratic sometimes, so it's hard to make that many repetitive lines that good. So I just stuck it down there and tried to stay down there.
You gonna make any changes for this D main or C main?
I might loosen the car up a little more, but I got to watch the track and see what's changing. So. Probably nothing drastic.
John Clabundi, he stays alive here, guys. He'll move on.
Thank you, Blake. He will indeed. Nostradamus over here. Clinton Boyles as C feature number 1 out on the racetrack. Matt Sherrill out of the Second Opinion Auto Center group will be on the pole. Ryan Roulette, Chili Bowl rookie, to the outside. Kyle Simon and Abby Holbein in row number 2. Cody Weinzenell and Carter Jensen in row 3. Kevin Studley, Tony Pennick in row 4. Sean Deskins, Logan Julian, your top 10 starters with Brandon Maddox and PJ Gargiulo coming out of the D. Coming up on Alphabet Soup Saturday in the lead up to the
How fitting would it be to have Kevin Studley in the Kevin Studley J main?
That's right. The Kevin Studley J. Well, he probably doesn't want that to happen, but, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's serendipity. I think it has to go.
That's how it got its name in the first place.
Yes. How many years ago was that now?
I have no idea.
That was a long time. Green flag in the air, C feature number 1, Matt Sherrill and Ryan Roulette. Roulette going to go top side. Field begins to fan out 2 by 2. Look out, Ryan Roulette up and over the cushion. He'll lose a couple of spots. As lap 1 goes to Matt Sherrill.
Got back down and saved a transfer spot, at least for now. Roulette gets to the berm. Now to the outside. He's got a challenger. And driving up and around and for the final transfer spot. That is Carter Jensrud in the C71. He may not be done. Jensrud on the haul after Weisenzel. And he's going to have another position as the top. Finally starting to show some teeth.
The back of this field is playing high-speed bumper cars right now. That's all this is. Incredible action from the back of the field.
And look at the 85 at J of Logan Julian as the front 4 have separated themselves now from this field. Ryan Roulette, first car on the outside, now getting passed from the D. Here comes Brandon Maddox now into that position, up 5 spots. Gargiulo also in this mix, so that orange car that just got around the B-52 pilot of Ryan Roulette, although they're still wheel-to-wheel for that position.
Down to the bottom goes Gargiulo. He's going to make the pass. See if he can get himself clear from Roulette. A lot of work still to do. Half the main still to do it. 6 laps to go.
Brandon Maddox starting to put some laps together. Will he get there in enough time? Weisenzel is there on the bottom. Maddox on the top side. Battle for the transfer spot with now 4 laps to go.
Here we go, Clinton.
Yeah.
No gas, no brakes. Brandon Maddox. He's running a really good lineup there.
He's got 6 more corners, and they all need to be really good ones.
Pushed up tight on the cushion, but on the bottom, Weisenell had a little bit of an issue. Weisenell on the bottom now, continuing to hammer the berm. Up and over goes Brandon Maddox, rips a tear off, has a few more opportunities here coming to the white flag this time by. Maddox getting closer and closer now into turns 3 and 4.
He's making some massive gains at the exit of turn number 2. He's going to have to here. Got into 1 and 2 really well. Shoots down the back straightaway for the final time. One more turn. Does he got it? No.
Tried to air it out.
Gave it all he had.
That's tough to get it bent in there right on the outside of a guy's right rear.
Cheryl will win. Simon Jensrud and the 20W. As we've got one more C main to go. All right, C2 ready to push as you get a look at Joe Perry from Billings, Montana, sitting there ready to rock and roll. See if Joe can do something. He's inside row number 4. Full look at the lineup now. Josh Balicki and Braxton Cummings in row number 1. Brad Wyatt, Trevor Service in row 2. Jake Johnson, Cameron Hagan in row 3. Joe Perry, Joe Boyles in row 4. Cooper Miller, Joe Walker in row number 5. And it is John Clemundi and Kevin Newton in row number 6. We go up top. TJ Forge Pit Report with Earl Hoon Jr.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Got Matt Sherrill out here, buddy. We were just talking. How aggressive do you have to be going out in that B main?
Yeah, fortunately, we started on the pole there, so we just needed to make sure to hold our lines, make sure our car was set up good, which I think we nailed it pretty well. Got to thank all these guys for all their hard work on this. Didn't have the greatest heat race, kind of got jumbled up, put us in a bad spot, but we're going to come back, and we got the stuff to do it.
Matt Sherrill, he's feeling good right now on his Second Opinion Auto Center card 2D.
I wonder what the game plan is.
I just want him to have fun.
Yeah.
And hopefully not tear anything up. I mean, it's cool to watch your dad race.
We were talking about it when he came out for hot laps. I love the old school feel. It's clean. Like
it's because it's old.
Well, yeah, but
it actually is old.
It doesn't change. It's just classic. I love it.
Yeah.
They made you get rid of the gold leaf numbers, though, right?
Oh, look out. Josh Balicki got 8 up on the start of this one. Falls from the point back to 3rd. As the 41 will rip to the lead here early. That's Brad Wyatt. The Show Me State driver going to have the point here on lap number 1. Cummings there in 2nd. There's Balicki. Again, top 4 will move on. As Service will try to challenge for the 3rd position. There's Cooper Miller. Running for Jonathan Beeson, has it high, wide, and handsome going to turns 3 and 4. Pushes tight up on the cushion. And going to go outside in. Nice little nifty move there on Josh Balicki.
Kept his foot in it after he got tied up on that cushion and rolled it back to the inside. And it's just kept forcing his way forward from there. And now side by side with Cummings for the spot. And Cooper Miller's got 2nd. Look out, Cummings. Gets way up and over and has now dropped 2 positions. He's back on the bubble.
Kevin Newton up 5 spots up to 7th. Needs a few more to get in that position for the transfer spot. Starting to get this Trifecta Motorsports car wound back up. There he is, 3rd car on your screen. Diving to the bottom of the racetrack, trying to follow Cameron Hagan through in that white 5033 machine. Here comes Cooper Miller again. Now battle up front for the lead.
Nice corner there, and the lead for Miller. Driving up and around Wyatt. Wyatt trying to stay down low and consistent. That's going to get him the lead back after Miller goes way up into the fluff in turn number 2. Rim Ryans bounces off the cushion again. Retakes the top spot in turn number 1 with 4 to go. But boy, just has not mastered getting in through 1 and 2 yet. It's Joe Perry.
Junked the front end on the 28J for Joe Perry, who was running in the 8th spot at the time of the flip. And we'll reset things with 4 laps to go. See how easy, Clint, it is to blast through the cushion.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Cooper Miller, though, just keeps attacking it. Works some. As they get Joe Perry put back on all 4s. Take a look exactly what happened to Perry. Coming into your picture, up on the bike.
Wow.
That was massive.
That was massive. I don't know that I've ever seen a car bike that far and actually come back down. I mean, obviously plugged it in the fence, but that is a long ways on your right sides to...
Well, and the impact, too, nearly head on.
He was still on the throttle after he crashed, too.
And there's a look at what's left of the front end of Joe Perry's car.
It's killed.
interesting to see how much frame damage there might be after the way that he struck that front wall.
Well, you can. I mean, it's all right there on that right front corner where your front rack. So hard telling how much it's pushed back. I mean, it's definitely pushed back. You can see it.
Tell the right front of the bumper is pushed back on that front bar here on the frame. But it does look like the shock towers and everything else look to be intact and straight.
Zip ties by the pallet.
Yep.
At the Tulsa Expo Raceway.
What did you say earlier? Maybe it was shootout that Brian Holbert said about the zip ties that they purchased for here. 20,000.
Yeah, a pallet of 20,000 zip ties.
That's insane.
Oh, that thing's in gear. Stop, stop, stop.
Yep.
That would be horrible if that thing somehow fired itself back off. Yeah.
Well, Perry's going to keep the helmet on, stay in the car, but that car's not going anywhere back on the racetrack.
Guys, I'm sure if head-on impact like that, the whole motor plate's bent. Just everything's going to be junked on that car.
They're still trying to fight to get this car out of gear here, reaching down on the rear end, trying to pop it out. And I think they finally get it, and I collect off the racetrack Zeus button number 36 for the 2-week period.
All right. We'll add that to Brian Ward's collection.
I only need about 24 more. You can put a whole midget.
Yeah.
Gosh, I hate midgets for the fact that there's 739 Zeus buttons on every car. The body panels are not going anywhere.
If you hate midgets for that, how are you going to put up with running micros all year?
I'm not bad mouthing micros. I have a good attitude. It's going to be fun.
Okay.
We'll check back in after your 63rd race weekend.
I'll text you in May. We'll see how you feel about it.
Yeah.
The micro Zeus buttons do break way easier when you're trying to put them on.
Yes.
Got to make sure I got a proper spring puller so my springs aren't too tight.
Oh, those spring puller tools are so nice, though.
Yep.
If I had one.
I ordered one from Joe's.
Good man.
Cooper Miller, Brad Wyatt, Josh Palicki, and Braxton Cummings, your 4 cars currently in the transfer spots as we're back underway with 4 laps to go. And quickly things get single file. Gonna keep an eye on Kevin Newton still ripping the top side here. Couple of spots out of the transfer, but he's giving it the old heave-ho from the D main. There he is on your screen.
Just got a lot of help on that last time around is getting around Service, and now working on Braxton Cummings off the bottom. We're down to 2 to go, Chris, and here comes Kevin Newton.
He's letting it all hang out as he's got Cummings right where he wants him. Around the outside, a little kiss of the back straightaway wall. Up on the cushion. Contact with Cummings as they come across the start-finish line. Nearly 3 wide as the white flag's out.
Kevin never lifted all the way through 3 and 4. Round the outside of turn 2. Kevin Newton, you got the final transfer.
He's going to try to protect the bottom, but he spins out and tips it over. And Braxton Cummings will come across the line. Kevin Newton, you had it.
Oh.
Hat shake to you, Kevin Newton. Please never change.
I'd stand up here and just wave it at you.
That is the most effort I've seen out of anyone. This is a wild K1 race gear replay.
Cummins into him with the right rear, trying desperately to get that spot back. Newton, no give up.
Right rear over the cushion. He rose around turn 2, off the wall, had it, and just, just never lifted.
Yeah.
For all we know, the throttle could have been hung. He was not lifting.
Oh,
that was cool.
Oh, man.
Well, he'll have a longer day on Saturday.
Go buy Kevin Newton t-shirts.
Yes.
Now.
39
That was cool.
on the Eibach flip count as we wrap up DNC features here on Hasty Bait qualifying night.
Let's take a second. We got to check in. We got a TJ Forge pit report first and foremost with Blake Anderson.
Cooper Miller went into C main there, staying alive last year and did 14th in the B. Cooper, car looked a lot better is what the crew said earlier in the night. Did it feel better for you?
Yeah, I felt way better. In the heat race, just injection or something went wrong, and the front shock was bent, but it's all right. We'll get back out there and try our best.
All right, good luck in the beat.
Thank you.
Cooper Miller, as I said last year, he did 14th in the B, looking to top that run. We'll be back at the Tulsa Expo Center with more live coverage of the Chili Bowl Midget Nationals, powered by NOS Energy Drink.
We'll get a look at qualifier race number 1. From the pole, you have Xavier Doney in the 91S to his outside Christopher Bell in the 21 CB. Row number 2, the 8B of Jeffrey Abbey and the 15D of Andrew Deal. Row number 3, Caden Sorali in the 14T, CJ Leary in the 55X, and Shannon McQueen in the 7, and Donnie Gentry in the 7S, rounding out row number 4. Row number 5, Parker Jones in the 41J and Cole Wackham in the 73.
Yeah, I think you kind of see that as the week goes on. Things tend to even out as night to night goes, and they get a little more consistency with the track and find what they're looking for.
Cool. Lights are out. We're going to go green qualifier number 1. Doney and Bell bringing us to green. Doney teamed up with Sammy Swindell, looking to improve the week that they've had with those operations. Here we go. Side by side start down the front stretch. Doney bombs across, going to challenge Bell. Bell answers back, drives around. He's going to look to check out on the field. That's Andrew Deal in the 15 on the outside, battling with Jeffrey Abbey in the A car as they both try to find a way by Doney. CJ Leary making quick moves to the high side of turns 3 and 4. He's up in the 3rd, and Doney really fighting that race car.
Yeah, CJ's been making really good moves all night, really smart decisions, and C's are kind of parting for him here. Like a pretty good run.
Up into the 2nd position for Leary. There are still 7 laps to go, so we'll see if he has anything to run down Christopher Bell. As Andrew Deal and Abbey still just battling it out. Abbey brings it off the curb as we look at Doney and Sorali. As Justin noted, Sorali had a really good year out on the West Coast, and Andrew Deal finally finds a way around Abbey. See if he can make this stick. Top side of the racetrack's been really good thus far tonight, guys, especially through those D's and C's.
Yeah, I think you've seen that all night. All week, really, too. Track's been obviously different every night, but the one consistent thing is that the top just seems so fast.
We're live on board with Christopher Bell as he's leading with 4 laps to go, and it seems pretty straightforward. Christopher a little bit tight through 3 and 4 as it's starting to ledge up, but setting a wicked pace, and CJ Leary has not been able to close in at all.
Yeah, it's definitely cool to be able to see lap times and see when what guy does something, what it changes on his laps, and obviously getting tight is pretty detrimental, but Christopher, when he hits a lap right, is so fast right now.
Doney closing in on Abbey with 2 laps to go. That's the pass for 4th position to try to save a little bit of points for Doney coming off the front row. Abbey answers back with a big run down the backstretch. Boy, these guys are almost just out of control. White flag is out that time by, as this is your battle for 4th position, and they keep swapping it back and forth. Abbey fights the inside hard on Doney, going to shove him up the racetrack and get the job done. Final corner, so hard racing there at the back of the field, but the guys that you expected to make their way to the front definitely did. Get a look at our points there. 105 for Christopher Bell, a big move. 113 for CJ Leary. So guys will be looking at that as the mark to beat. He's unofficially on the pole for the moment. Yeah. All right, for our first interview up top of the ramp, we have Cannon McIntosh.
Yeah, down here with Christopher Bell, winner of Qualifier 1. Christopher, obviously you really haven't had to battle anyone yet. You've been in clean air the whole time. Do you think you have a good enough piece to work through traffic? Obviously you're not going to start in the first couple of rows. What do you think you have under you?
Well, I got on to you, when was that, yesterday, about not running the right lines. You got any tips for me this time?
I don't know. I feel like obviously got to be aggressive and get to the top when it's time, right?
I'll tell you what, I'm not going to do what you did and run the bottom too long.
That's Christopher Bell, winner Qualifier 1 there.
Man, that's tough when Christopher just hounding you out the side of the car like that. But yeah, we'll keep our eye on that, see if Christopher does make the moves in the right time or if Cannon can go back down and heckle him. So on to qualifier number 2 on the front row, Sam Haverteep Jr. in the 12H, and to his outside, Caleb Henry in the 27X. Row number 2, Carter Sarf and Ashton Torgerson. Tanner Thorson, Jacob Denny rounding out row number 3. Got Riker Pace and Jeff Stossa in row number 4. Rounding out your field, Chance Crum and Ashton Thompson at the back of the field at the last lap, last corner pass. So, yeah, lights are out. Again, we got Haverteep, Henry, Sarf, Torgerson, Thorson, and Denny. Those were your 6 that made the invert in these qualifiers. Passing points is still the name of the game. Jacob Denny was tied for high point guy coming into this. Early start there for Caleb Henry. See if they let that stick. They ended up side by side and it didn't work out as Torgerson with the big move in 1 and 2. regroups down the backstretch as you get a good look at your 4 guys coming through. Bottom's open for Carter Sarf. The quick run up to the 2nd position, and now looking the inside of Torgerson.
I thought about saying at the beginning, but Carter Sarf, if anybody's going to make the bottom work, it's probably going to be him. He can get around the bottom here so fast in the center of the corner and makes a lot of lap time doing it.
Yeah, here comes Tanner Thorson, also rolling the bottom. Seems like guys are wanting to get to the top. Haferteep going the wrong way in this qualifier as a caution flag flies.
Not how Caleb drew it up for sure.
That's Chance Crum in the 7R stopped over in turn number 2. Doesn't appear to be anything massive, so Torgerson leads the way right now.
That curb in the middle of 3 and 4 is getting absolutely stacked.
It gets, yeah, we saw that last night where it got really, really stiff in the middle of 3 and 4, and then it doesn't get any easier off the exit of 4 either.
Yeah, all week it seems like that. 1 and 2 seems to be more the cookie cutter corner on the top, and then you go walk the track after the race, and 3 and 4 just has a lot of holes and pretty rough. So,
is that something you do each night? Is there a lot to learn, you think, after the races, going walking around the track?
There is for me, at least getting to watch the race afterwards, and I have some better perspective of walking the track. I can kind of connect the dots better for myself.
Yeah. Good restart there by Torgerson to gap away from Sarf, and Haferteep kind of get settled back in, try to stop the bleeding here, is maintaining in 3rd and honestly driving away from Tanner Thorson.
Carter's making that bottom work in 3 and 4 really well. You guys are having to slow down a bit to not get tripped up on the curve there. And the bottom's kind of coming into play.
Hats got one almost over in Stassa. Thompson's 23T comes piling in.
This is always the worst part of the qualifier, I feel like, for the front 2 guys, because Carter knows that he kind of needs to go forward and probably win this qualifier to start really good in the feature, and Torgerson obviously can't bleed much.
Get a look at a K1 race gear instant replay. Stassa was already just turned around. Thompson, last car to the party. We'll get these guys turned around and restacked. And what's the mindset under these cautions? We have cockpit adjustable stuff. Are you in there dialing on stuff, Justin, or you stay pretty hands-off?
I try my best to stay hands-off. Unless something's, needs glaringly done, I'm trying my best to focus on turning the big one in the middle.
Torgerson still leads. Sarf in 2nd, Sam Haferteep 3rd. Thorson had made a quick early run up to the front and has kind of seemingly stalled out. That's how tough these qualifiers are, though. Denny, your high point guy coming in, is sitting in 5th, and he definitely needs all the points he can get with how tight everything was.
I feel like it always gets tricky to move forward here when the curb's like kind of almost in the middle of the racetrack. It's so hard to slide somebody and not just clean them out.
Yeah, it's really hard to create runs as yellow lights come back on.
Yeah, especially when it gets stacked in the middle like that, you can't get plugged in and get that momentum through the center to make a run on exit and get kind of peeled to a guy's left rear down the straightaway. You end up having to kind of miss the middle, and then you're having to take that one last bite on exit to get going again. The straightaway's so short. Then by the time you get there, there's no room to build that run.
Especially right here, we're still pretty narrow on entry, so to clear a slider, you got to have a solid run by a guy. Torgerson surges back down the hill and brings us to green. Another really good start by him. And the front 3 cars go to the top. Haferteep got tight. That's going to allow Thorson to sneak on by into 3rd. Thorson back to the bottom of 3 and 4. He's been committed down there the entire time. Sarf hanging right with Torgerson, making good laps. 5 laps to go, and Denny's going to work his way by Sam Haferteep.
Carter's probably praying that Torgerson sees him down there and moves down and kind of opens a lane for him up top.
Race for the lead really good here. Sarf is right on the back of Torgerson. He's still just committed to the bottom of 3 and 4, trying to make something happen. It's almost like he needs a mistake out of Torgerson.
Yeah, I think he's hooking the bottom there, hoping Torgerson gets tight on the top and he can capitalize.
Seems like another guy's mistake's the easiest way to pass around right now. It's hard to create those runs like we talked about. 2 laps to go, your top 3 pretty evenly spaced out. Thorson's been able to do okay on the bottom, but he can't make up much ground. See Tanner get tied on the top side of 3 and 4. White flags out for Ashton Torgerson.
Oh, Jacob got by Thorson.
Yeah, Thorson got tied on the top of 3 and 4. Open to run for Denny side by side down the backstretch. Tanner going to stick the bottom. Denny, there it is, tied on the top, and Thorson's going to get that spot back at the line. So
that was solid composure by Thorson there. Easy to get worked up. I mean, you expect it out of Tanner, right, to be composed, but easy to get worked up there. You make a mistake and give one away, and then have a chance to he had a chance to run into his left rear there and settled himself down and went down to the other end, did his job, and rolled back by him.
Yeah, 115 points by Torgerson there. That's a big run for him that should put him towards the front row of this A main so far. We really haven't seen a ton of major breakouts, so that front row is still wide open for these guys. Hank Davis at the top of the ramp.
Yeah, here with Qualifier 2 winner Ashton Torgerson. Ashton, they talk about the track's super narrow right now. So how important is that first lap when they all kind of spread out to get through them?
Yeah, I mean the start was pretty important there. I got heavy hitters behind me, so I got to go right away. And really, the start was kind of weird. I mean, second kind of took off, and then first took off, and we didn't get a restart. So it kind of worked out in my favor, honestly. But yeah, the track's a little more narrow tonight. It's also technical too. Being up there on the curb, I'm sure you guys see I messed up on the curb, quite a bit, honestly, and so I just got to clean that up a little bit. We'll get the car a little bit better and see where we roll off.
Forget those questions. What was your favorite cartoon when you were a kid?
Favorite cartoon? Probably classic SpongeBob.
I like it. That's Ashton Torgerson. Back to you, boys.
Thank you very much, Hank. Qualifier number 3 pushing off right now. We got Danny Stratton and Jacob Hughes on your front row. Row number 2 is Frank Flood and Spencer Baston. Row number 3, Chris Wyndham, Matt Reach. In row 3, Brant Woods and Dodge Calvert rounding out row number 4. And at the back of the field in row number 5, Robert Carson and Tim Creech II.
It'll be interesting. I didn't think that the Bondio car looked super comfortable up top when it did move up, but obviously it just rolls the bottom around here so good. So it'll be interesting to see if Danny can roll the bottom right.
The Bondio car has never looked comfortable on the curb, but it's awesome to see the Bondio stuff fast and competitive, and looking for Chris and Spencer to do something big here.
Stratton and Hughes, your front row, bringing us to green, and Stratton, an early jump. We'll see if he sticks that bottom. He does, and Jacob Hughes trying to fight high on the outside. The Wing 410 racer from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, trying to hang tight and kind of got a roadblock here for your front row.
Yeah, Spencer's definitely got to get going here pretty soon, or else Wyndham's going to capitalize on it.
Yeah, that might be exactly what Spencer needed there. Hughes to the bottom, and see if Spencer can circle the outside. He looked really good in his heat race, so entering right rear above it, kind of hanging there, and he's going to circle around Stratton, and you got a new leader. Spencer Basin 4-1 quickly once he got the ball rolling there, and looking to bring someone with him as he runs away. Stratton still committed to the bottom as he now slides to the top. That's going to open the door for Frank Flood in the 81F.
Yeah, curious to see what Danny does. Obviously, you can't be in a rush to go nowhere on the bottom around this place, but man, the thing does look a little bit snug up top for him.
Big Daddy Chris Wyndham trying to find a way to make a run and create some points here. Chris's car just not quite handling the curve the way that I feel like he would maybe want it to.
That looked pretty sporty there when he got it laid in nice.
Yeah, struggle in 3 and 4, but man, if you hit it right, you do create so much speed. Stratton now slides across, just trying to cover off both of these guys. Now goes the top. Wyndham, man, close call there with the slider. 3 laps to go. Chris Wyndham up into the 2nd position. Frank Flood hanging tough on the inside of the racetrack there. And Chris still just fighting that car so bad in turns 3 and 4. Meanwhile, a 4.8 second lead for Spencer Baston. That is insane. Spencer coming around white flag. Got 2 cars a lap down already. And the 1S looks really, really good. Final time through 3 and 4. That car's not getting tight. Spencer Basin dominates qualifier number 3.
Yeah, really quick pace.
Chris Wyndham comes by 5.2 seconds behind your race leader. Wyndham runs P2, Frank Flood P3. Danny Stratton and Brant Woods rounding out your top 5. All right, qualifier race number 3 interview. Cannon McIntosh, who do you got?
Yeah, down here with Spencer Basin. Yeah, you dominated there. Yeah, I think you won by about 5 seconds. So this thing looked glued around the top. Obviously, you're going to be maybe in a little bit of traffic here, come feature time, especially with lap traffic. It's going to get congested up there. What do you think you need to be able to get through and just keep your pace consistent?
Well, I think it was definitely a step in the right direction from our heat race. I was pretty free in the heat race and spent a lot of time on 2 wheels there in the qualifiers. So we definitely found grip. We just got to make sure I manage it well and do a good job keeping this thing on all 4s. But the NOS Energy drink 1S is fast. Bill and the guys are doing a really, really good job. So I'm excited. I need B-Walks to tell me where I start in the feature tonight. But definitely 4-1 there was the move we needed to make to give ourselves a good shot.
Yeah, and you've seen, well, you didn't see, but Wyndham behind you, he's struggling, just getting tight with it in the center a lot. What is it about the track right now, the way it's developing, that's just causing guys to get so tight in the center and just not being able to carry momentum all the way around?
Yeah, it's just getting really slick to a wet cushion. I mean, it doesn't move and it really pumps your right rear, and the way we have our car, it's that right rear sticks and that only brings the left sides up or gets you drive tight. So it's a little bit of a handful, but it's going to make it unique and present some challenges that will create some variation in the speed and hopefully put on some good racing.
That's Spencer Basin, winner of qualifier 3.
Thank you very much, Cannon. On to qualifier number 4. On the pole, Cameron LaRose into his outside, Johnny Kent. Row number 2, Kyle Cummins and Brecken Reese. Ryan Bernal, Brady Bacon round out row number 3. Joel Myers Jr. and Braden Sharamonte are row number 4, and rounding out your 5th and final row is Trevor Klein and Sam Henderson. Flying through these qualifiers, guys. What are the nerves like for you, Justin, heading into tomorrow? Are there any at all?
No, not too bad. Just show up, try and do my job, and you want to, right? Like you always talk about, like, I got to make good decisions. I got to do this, I got to do that, but really just settle in, take a few breaths, and go try and do your job the best you can, and enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah, you make it sound pretty easy.
Well, no, not
For
really.
you it is, huh? Yeah.
No, not all the time. but stressing about it doesn't ever seem to help anything.
Fair enough. Interesting front row here, qualifier number 4 in LaRose and Kent. See what these guys behind him can do, and kind of a wicked start there. Big move by Bernal in the 87 to get to the high side early. We've seen Kevin Swindell's cars look so good as there's major contact. That's going to push LaRose to the way backside of this field. Cummins to your early lead, and that's exactly what the doctor ordered for the 39 car. Big balance, big moves. Brecken Reese going all the way across the racetrack, and that's going to bring the 19 with him. That's Joel Myers Jr. from the 7th starting spot all the way up into 3rd. So he's looking to make a name. Those guys still, have options to go score high points and get to the front of this A main. Brady Bacon trying to find his way through now. Brady looks really good in his heat race and need to figure out something to kind of get away from these guys. Trevor Klein in the 55 coming forward. He's up to the 6th place position after starting 9th.
Yeah, you get pulled back into that scrum, and it's you got to figure a way to stop the bleeding and get a little space to get some momentum going.
When you get
again.
started racing like that, and you just get to going back and forth with these guys, how do you stop it?
A lot of times, like you gotta kind of slide yourself and just get the bleeding to stop. Sometimes, and sometimes you just throw something and scrum everything up even more and just try and come out on the good end of it.
Klein and Bacon going back and forth there, hardcore. 3 laps to go. Brady still has the 5th position, but does not look like he's comfortable. Klein definitely applying pressure to him. Top 2 pretty much checked out on the field, and Cummins and Bernal.
Brady's flooring above the fluff there, using a lot of brake.
Yeah, brake rotor's glowing, entering above it, driving across, just doing anything he can. Klein with a hero move in the final corner. Klein trying everything he can, and it's not going to be enough on Brady Bacon. White flag. Still got room to go, so Klein has it down the backstretch. Brady Bacon wants it. He's going to go to the top. They're both going to bomb across, and Trevor Klein going to make the big move there, coming to the white to take that 5th position from the 9th. So that's good points for him, as you can see. Cummins, Bernal, and Myers were gone on the rest of your field and definitely scored a lot of points there to move them up in the field.
That was a good move by Klein there, not running the slider all the way across, kind of chalking himself up in the middle, expecting Brady to cross him over and plug Brady up, and then come down to this end, slide yourself, and that was good. That was good racing there.
Trevor Klein, the Millbridge racer, you definitely learn how to race throwing slide jobs when you run out at Millbridge. Let's go up top to Hank Davis with our final qualifier interview.
Yeah, here with Kyle Cummins, and Kyle, with the track kind of being the way it is right now, with it, being slick right to a nice curb. What do you have to do like mentally to keep hitting those laps, just lap after lap, and not screwing up?
I think just that's my favorite kind of track. Get a little curb and make it a little technical, but definitely just make sure you get slowed down just enough to hit your mark getting in and not just throw through the corner. You make a lot of speed if you can get on it and roll on it. So. I just made sure I didn't do anything stupid. I don't know how good we were or not. I mean, we felt pretty good, but I don't know about behind us. So we'll go to work and do a little bit. Just got to give a shout out to Glenn Stires Racing and Kevin Swindell for giving me this opportunity, and my wife and kids at home again. It's we got 2 wins, and same thing Emerson did. So let's get one more win tonight.
Yeah, and also, what is it like to drive this car? I mean, you've obviously driven good stuff here, but this is probably one of the best in the building. So what's it like been working with Kevin?
Different than anything I've ever drove. It's unbelievable. And now, after getting beat by CV, multiple times, I see where the grip comes from, and it's really fun to drive, and I can't wait for the feature to dice up with them guys.
Yeah, well, good job. That's Kyle Cummins, and back to you guys.
You got B featured, Caleb.
All right, B1, Caden Sorali, Danny Stratton, Xavier Doney, Riker Pace, Parker Jones and Dodge Carlbert, Caleb Henry and Shannon McQueen, Tim Creech II, Jeff Stassa, Sam Henderson, and again, Chris.
Oh, hold on. Where are we at? What's that?
Cole Wakeem. There we go.
There you go. Wakeem.
Outside row number 6. Move-ups from the C, Matt Sherrill, Kyle Simon, Carter Jensrud, and Cody Weisenzel. So they'll stack up 2 by 2, 15 laps, top 4 moving forward, and these will occupy the inside row of the back of the A main event. It's spots 17, 19, 21, and 23 up for grabs.
So Sorali, Stratton, let's see what happens here off of corner number 4. Danny push up the hill, and Sorali will have the whole shot into turns 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway, mess from about 3rd on back, couple up the hill, including Riker Pace, Dodge Carlbert there as well. Watch Caleb Henry here on the bottom. As battle up front, Xavier Doney looking for a spot up top in the lead. He'll go from outside to the bottom, drag race in the 1 and 2.
He and Sorali have swapped that top spot now a couple of times. It is Doney down the back straightaway with Sorali settling into 2nd. Jones 3, Stratton 4, only 4 going, and they're all after Danny Stratton. Bouncing around and sent on backwards. Riker Pace in the 97 as he's slowing in the front straightaway, and the caution flag is out.
Bounced like a pogo stick in 3 and 4 as they were just absolutely digging for real estate. He'll come to a slow stop. Danny Stratton trying to stop the bleeding there after the start of this race. Xavier Doney wasting no time, though, getting to the front of the field. Checking on some of our C-Main cars. Matt Sherrill moving up as well as you look at the replay. 4 in the flow. Oh, contact. That is Dodge Calbert. And Carlbert was able to, little right rear wheel feed.
Carlbert trying to make his own luck coming back through the field.
That yellow was big for Stratton because he had missed the bottom in 3 and 4 and let Caleb Henry by, so he is going to fall all the way out of a transfer spot now. Has a shot to dial on that thing and hopefully stay inside the top 4.
Had watched a lot of Stratton in the qualifier from standing next to you guys, standing aside to you guys, and he was pressured that entire race long. He had both Flood and Wyndham. Flood kept trying to get underneath him, and finally it was like Wyndham carved the path for both him and Flood to get by in one corner, but the 47, it's just not quite right yet. You can see that out there.
Those yellows are good for the guys running the top because they can go around and roll right on top of that cushion and flatten it down a little bit so it's not so ledgy. It gives them a little bit of forgiveness with that right rear tire. So these yellows should be good for them to be able to create runs and speed on the top side of the racetrack.
We'll see how it pans out as immediately second and third to the top side of the racetrack of Sorali and Jones. See Stratton there on the bottom side of the racetrack with Caleb Henry pressuring him all over the rear bumper. Dodge Carlbert there as well. Jeff Stassa.
Stassa's been running like his hair was on fire a lot of the night. He had a really good heat race. Now trying to come back and through in this qualifier B main and make some spots. He's on the back of Henry. Unfortunately, Henry on the outside looking in. Parker Jones, that black, red, and white 41 is the final transfer car in. And Stratton now kind of getting in and digging on the bottom side of the racetrack. That car looking better.
Yeah, Stratton has made an adjustment in 3 and 4. He's actually getting on top of the berm now, and that's letting his right rear kind of hang out in a little bit of that moisture, and that's been a big improvement for him.
Contact between Sorali and Parker Jones. They were wheel to wheel for third. Jones might be looking at a line change mid straightaway. He's coming up to go to the top. Sorali will follow him, and now for fourth, welcome Caleb Henry to the party. Henry has got that fourth and final transfer.
Yeah, look at how much berm Caleb Henry's using big on the bike off turn 2. Gets a regroup back to the bottom side of 3 and 4. That's where he's been making his money.
Caleb Henry into a transfer spot looking for an A-main performance tonight. He'll take third away from Jones coming out of turn number 2 at the halfway point. Beyond halfway, I should say. Here in the big old bike from Henry. Settles it down. Holds the final transfer spot, though, as Sorali back in the attack in the high groove.
Like a cowboy at the rodeo, Caleb Henry getting that thing settled back down. Back underneath Sorali here as they continue to duke it out for that final transfer spot. Carlbert's there now in the picture, and from the C-main, Matt Sherrill starting to enter this one as well.
Late slide from Henry, but it worked to take the spot back. Back to the bottom goes Sorali. Yellow lights come on, and we'll have to bring this one to a halt for a minute. It's Joaquim in the 73.
Wow.
Caleb
I'd love to see a
Henry.
replay of that Caleb Henry
He
bike.
rode that bicycle for a long ways. You could see him turning right to save it, turning left to turn the corner, and then just back right, back left. That's some good balance.
No kidding. As they try to get Cole's car refired, you can see now a little bit of a ledge developing on the top side there in 1 and 2. What a battle, though, with Sorali, Henry, Dodge Carlbert there in position. Matt Sherrill from the C was up to 7th, but the yellow will put him back to 8th. Carter Jensrud 9th after starting dead last. As we'll take a look at that Caleb Henry bike. Buckle up. There's one. That was minute. That was the setup.
Yeah.
This is when it really gets gnarly here.
Hang on, boys and girls.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
And now.
Wow.
Nice save.
That is so hard to do, Clinton.
Yeah.
It's a rarity you see somebody ride it that long without going over.
All happens so fast. So he gave Sorali the final transfer spot there. Caleb Henry's going to have to come and get it.
4 to go. Doney, Stratton, Jones, Sorali. Back underway. Danny back to the bottom. Going to miss it. There opens the door for Parker Jones. And around goes Danny Stratton.
Disaster for Stratton in that corner. We'll get a second look at it, but in real time, look at that left front.
Yep. And issues for the 71C coming to a stop as well.
Carter Jensrud.
Yeah. C71 is, man.
One of the ways that, one of the things about these Bondio cars, and we've talked a lot about the construction of them over the years, you know, your fronts are pretty exposed, but that left front of theirs is extra at risk, I would say. It seems to have even less bracing and less up there to stabilize that thing, so doesn't take much of a shot to send it cattywampus.
Kind of got monster trucked as Parker Jones went through, and then you saw The Gentry car tried to avoid, got into the wall, and you see the Nerf bar there on the left fold underneath.
Way too far into the tire to save that.
Yeah. Good heads up, though, for Caleb Henry. Came to that picture as well on the binders. Had to dodge, duck, and weave to get out of that mess. And so that'll put Caleb Henry now into that 4th and final transfer spot. So Xavier Doney, Parker Jones, Caden Sorali, Caleb Henry will be your top 4.
Carlbert has just been on the outside looking in a couple of times. He's had some good runs. Now sits 5th.
Him and Stasa have been getting after it with Matt Sherrill as well, so I don't think they're going to be done yet trying to march their way forward. Can't let Henry get too far away.
Sherrill's on the move from the C main.
Yes.
Also. So as he's trying to work his way up and run some soup. Tony brings us back to green. Tony's going to get upstairs to the top. Parker Jones used the bottom last time to sneak that spot away from Stratton. He's going to go wheel to wheel with your leader. Tony gets back up top. Down low, Jones, top 4, 2 by 2 with 4 to go.
Here comes Matt Sherrill, and Doney stalls it, keeps it going after getting help, but Sorali's involved. Dodge Carlbert's involved.
That was almost 2 of your transfer cars all in one.
Somehow Doney stayed going.
Yeah.
Well, as they stacked up, got hit. Watch what happens here. Just overcooked it. And in comes, well, really it was Sorali that got help, that helped him.
So into the corner, Doney around, Sorali, then Carlbert, Pace, McQueen, and one other in there.
Our speed shot got a good look at it.
Got turned the other way.
So Pace will try to get pushed back off. And getting more potential flat left rear on Xavier Doney's car. So after getting hit and fired back off. Oh, yeah. Well.
Yeah, she's done.
That'll be it.
Up we go.
To the work area. I'm not sure if anybody was ready, if they saw it, but running out of time. Crew now immediately to the attention of the Swindell and Bertrand Motorsports team.
Crew, singular.
Yeah.
One guy.
New rule this year is each car gets 4 armbands to give to your crew guys.
That's right.
And if you do not have one of those armbands on a specific arm, you're not coming down the ramp. They're not having it. So that's to limit how many guys are on the ramp, not getting overcrowded. We've seen that in years past where there's just so many people.
And the colors of the wristbands change by day, too, so you can't leave yours on and use it the rest of the week.
So, composition of the front. Now, Parker Jones, Caleb Henry, Matt Sherrill is now up in the top 4 from the C main.
Doney's gonna
get back out here. See Frank Flood there as well.
They're messing with the bleeder. They better just say the heck with that thing.
Yeah. We don't have time to mess with that. Although plenty of time. I mean, the lights are still on. Yellow flag still waving. Brian Ward, what more can you tell us?
Chris, new right rear for Caden Sorali here. The BCRA champion should be set. I don't know if they're going to have enough time to get the wheel cover on it, though. As you mentioned, time running real short here in the work area. Xavier Doney looks ready to go. They're just stuck behind Sorali.
Well, that's working in Sorali's favor because Doney has the right to get back out. So if he can't get back out, Sorali gets more time.
And Sorali gets
now we got another one in the work area.
Oh, boy.
Dodge Carlbert in the work area now.
Good defense is the best offense. That's Sorali's motto.
Yeah, with Dodge, I saw a crew member sticking out trying to wave him over to the work area. I could see something dragging underneath the race car. It looked like a line or hose of some sort had come disconnected, was dragging under the car. They were really trying to get him over there 2 laps earlier. Finally gets the signal and gets into the work area. They tucked something up. It's no longer dragging, hanging down underneath the frame, whatever it was.
Brian, an oil line came loose is what the crew guy told me.
So there's Doney.
And they got it back reattached.
I think so, Caleb.
All right.
Send her, right?
Well, I'd be paying real close attention to the oil pressure gauge for a little bit.
3 laps to go. I don't know.
It is Jeff Stassa who has moved his way into the final transfer spot now.
And Matt Sherrill.
Sherrill's got
C.
Yep, Sherrill third, Stassa 4. And in behind Henry and the new leader, Parker Jones.
It felt like even without that, Sherrill had the pace to race his way in. So
he was going to get to 4th at least, but now sitting pretty in 3rd. Does he have more in the tank? Back underway we go with Parker Jones, Caleb Henry. There goes Sherrill, where he's been most of this one to the top. He's got 2nd. Why not go for the lead?
Give it to him. Matt Sherrill coming off the corner. Wheel to wheel into 1. Down on the bottom. Jones has been really sticking the inside of the corner, but too much speed on the top. And Matt Sherrill, C to the front of the B, looking A-main bound. 1 to go.
That car really good right now on the top side of the racetrack. Boy, that got real tight off the corner. He'll protect the bottom here and bring it home. Matt Sherrill, C to B to A. And the 4th and final transfer spot at the line. Kyle Simon going to hold off Jeff Stassa.
Also C to B to A now.
Yeah. Couple of soup eaters on a Thursday night in Tulsa, Oklahoma. You look at your unofficial results. Matt Sherrill, Parker Jones, Caleb Henry, Kyle Simon. Simon and Sherrill from the C. Going to start at the back at tonight's A-main event.
Lots going on. Let's see what happens here in the second one as the NOS Energy Drink ramp cam shows us our drivers rolling down. Brant Woods and Trevor Klein, Sam Haferteep Jr. and Jacob Hughes, Chance Crum, Matthew Recheck, Cameron LaRose, Johnny Kent, Donnie Gentry, and Robert Carson, Braden Chiaramonte and Ashton Thompson, the 12 from qualifiers that did not make it. Then Cooper Miller and Brad Wyatt, Josh Balicki, and Braxton Cummings going to make up the 4 from the C-Main.
Matt Recheck tied for high points after the heat races. Kind of one of those surprise picks. Didn't have the qualifier that he wanted. Gonna have an opportunity to race his way in as we go back upstairs to the top of the ramp and EHJ.
Got Matt Sherrill here, buddy. I think your favorite soup is alphabet soup because you have locked it into the A-main here tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you. Just a testament to the guys, man. We had to fight through the C and now the B, and to walk away with the win's pretty special. I think we got something rolling into today that we can work with.
What kind of changes, if any, are you going to have to make for the upcoming A-main event?
Yeah, we're going to tune on it. We know the track's going to be different for the A. It's a longer race, so we got to tune on it some, but we got a good base.
Guys, just take a look, and I'm going to have Daryl pan around here over there. Of huge congratulations up here at the top of the ramp for Sherrill.
Right now, there it is. Beautiful.
Yeah. He listened.
Understood the assignment.
That's a veteran right there. Got the goggles on. Ready to rip.
B feature number 2. Last one, guys, before we go to A-main action for the night. 4 more spots up for grabs. Brant Woods, Trevor Klein, Sam Haferteep Jr. and Jacob Hughes underway. Trevor Klein working up on the top. He had a good qualifying run. Just needed a few more points out of the heat race to really make it work. He's going to have the lead here on lap number 1 with Woods fighting hard on the bottom. They go side by side for the lead out of turn number 2. Give it to Klein.
Yeah, Woods just trying to use that moisture patch. We've got one upside down. That's Josh Balicki. And the rookie out of the Tim Engler camp also involved as well.
It's Donnie Gentry.
Yeah.
Donnie Gentry's a rookie here?
Johnny Gentry is a rookie here.
Yep. That is crazy.
That guy has been
I had to do
on
a double
lot
take
of
when
fast cars, right?
Take a oh, Josh Balicki up over the left rear and tips her over.
Yeah, folded up the header on Gentry's car, flat in the left rear. Good look at her.
Almost did the
speed shot.
backflip. Well, kind of did.
It'll add to the iBox Springs flip count, but it's 40.
Is it just me, or is this a huge night for the iBox flip count? For a single prelim night, we have vaulted this thing.
She's growing.
We were in the low 20. Yeah, or we were 28. Okay, I thought it was like 25, but 28 this morning. Here we are.
Plus 12 on the day. Probably be the single individual biggest day so far until we get to Saturday.
Here's a stat I want to find. What is the single prelim day that's had the most flips in our Chili Bowl history?
Oh, good luck with that one.
Don't want to be sad.
B-Walk, if you're paying attention, that'd be a fun stat to have maybe later on or next year.
That would require a lot of flow film history.
Yeah.
What do you think Brian does during the week?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
right?
true.
He answers Brad Sweet's phone calls. That's what he does.
And in between, he's watching old Chili Bowl footage.
Yes.
Allegedly.
Guys, I'd like to keep an eye on Balicki's left rear after that impact. A little bit of mud around the nerve bar and the oil can, but packed in the bead of that left rear tire, there was mud about halfway through it. We'll see if that can hold air in that left rear tire.
Well, if it's there, Quentin, he's going to know right away when he gets on the gas because that thing's going to shake.
Yeah.
I never packed a wheel. Describe the vibration. As best you can.
You guys know what shake weights are?
Heard of them?
Yes.
So it's like if you're the shake weight, just going so much faster.
Not fun. Back to green.
After this race, I have a much better comparison that I just thought of.
Well, we're going to watch Sam Haferteep Jr. around the outside get the second spot away from Brant Woods. Woods now under attack, although jumping the cushion was Chance Crum. Crum's got fit, so does the car behind, and that's the 5P of Cameron LaRose.
Got in there, got into the slick, and stalled it out.
Yep. So packing your wheel full of mud is like when you go to Lowe's or Home Depot and they put a paint can in the shaker.
Oh, yes.
That is what it feels like. That's about the RPM rate that is vibrating through your hands and your eyeballs and your teeth. And yeah, it's aggressive.
I feel like I need to clarify a little bit here on that left rear wheel. It's not so much packed inside the wheel, but it was kind of wedged in between the tire and the bead of the wheel, looking like it might knock that bead off just the way that it was wedged in there.
Gotcha. Brian's Southern Oklahoma came out in there in between. Yeah, he's got a long ways to go for Balicki if he wants to make his way back to the front. He's got to go past 10 race cars.
Oof. And on a racetrack like this, as you see LaRose's 5P now into the work area. A buttoned-up crew over there, but he's got the appropriate shirts on.
And LaRose will return.
All right. Of course, that's the Rossi Petty Racing team. It's had a pretty decent Chili Bowl week.
LaRose, like a lot of others, going to have a lot of work to do to come through this, although just a couple of laps in.
Made the show on his prelim night a year ago, but did not finish that event. Going to have a lot of work to do to get back there in about 13 laps here in the second final B feature.
When we get back to action, Trevor Klein will lead. Sam Haferteep Jr. is second. That gray 14 is Brant Woods. He's in third. Chance Crum is the blue 7R sitting in the fourth spot. Outside looking in, the 11 of Jacob Hughes, the 57A of Matthew Rechek, and the 8L of Cooper Miller. Miller from the C.
Yes.
He has made a lot of ground up already.
Maybe pick off a few, get one more caution, and get yourself in striking distance. He'd been ripping the top in that C main. We'll see if that's where he opts to go, but Trevor Klein will restart there on the top lane, lead him back down into 1 and 2 here at the restart with 13 to go.
For third, Crum showed a nose to Woods for a second. Brant going in on the bottom of turn number 3. Crum up to the high side, and there is a new fourth place car as Shuffle Crum back a spot.
It's Jacob Hughes up to fourth.
Jacob Hughes, good move off the bottom.
So Hughes in the red and black machine has the fourth and final transfer spot. There's Crum. Blue and black 7, one spot out. Ripping the bottom there up on the berm was Brad Wyatt, another car out of the C. So Wyatt and Cooper Miller on the move, but it's Wyatt, the best of the C main move-ups, challenging Crum here for 5th.
Clinton, these lap times are super slow.
Yes.
13.3 second laps out there. It feels like all of the get up and go in this racetrack just up and left in a hurry.
Yeah, considering we've seen 9-second laps, at least laps in the 9-second bracket previous years here.
Last time by 12.5 for Trevor Klein. He's about the only one who has found anything out there. He's got nearly a 3-second lead over Haferteep. As this is for the final transfer, Crum rebuilt some momentum up around the high side, and he is trying to retake the final transfer from Hughes in the 11. However, he's having to be relatively perfect up there to keep his foot in the throttle. Brad Wyatt down to the bottom, making him work for it.
There's Cooper Miller. I was talking about him just pounding the top this whole race, just like the C. Starting to work for him a little bit. Still needs a couple of positions, but not for the lack of trying. As he hammers the top side of the racetrack yet again. Crum was entering kind of almost up and over what has built up to be a little bit of a curve there, especially in 1 and 2. And Sam Haferteep Jr. to the infield. He was in 3rd.
So shuffle everybody up a spot. Now Crum has got 4th, and Wyatt was the one challenging him for the final transfer spot. Brad Wyatt, the white and black 41 on the bottom. Cooper Miller getting involved. Crum's blue 7 is the final transfer as Miller up and over again, trying to monster truck that midget around this raceway.
Cooper entered 3 that last time, Clinton, at like 20 mile an hour quicker than everybody else.
Yeah, he was coming from deep left field on that one.
Brad Wyatt down to the final transfer. 2 to go.
White flag is out already because Klein is deep into lap traffic as we watch this battle for the transfer spot. Wyatt has it. Here comes Hughes. Here comes Crum. And it is a gaggle of cars here on their final lap as checkered flag's already out for Trevor Klein.
Wyatt past Hughes to get to 3rd. It's Crum and Hughes for the final transfer. And Hughes on the bottom, too strong. He's going to keep the spot and stay in your top 4.
It looked like those cars were going in slow motion in turns 3 and 4. Trevor Klein gets the dub, the 55T.
Was a 13.7 second lap that last time by. That's why, guys.
Yeah, unbelievable.
There is your 18, 20, 22, and 24th place starter. Let's check in. We've got a TJ Forge pit report. Blake Anderson.
Jacob Hughes transferring the rookie. Picked up a heat race win earlier, and now you're locked in. How's that feel, Jacob?
This is insane. I think I need to blink a few times, but I don't know. Felt pretty good in the qualifier. I'm usually better around the bottom. Thought I was going to junk it a few times for sure in the qualifier racing with those good dudes, but I don't know. Jumped the cushion once there at the start of that, and I was like, just get down there and do what you know how to do. And I didn't actually know that we made it. I thought that guy passed me at the end for it, but somebody must have broke or something. But I'd like to thank all these guys here from Morton Excavating. They're doing an amazing job. Hi again to Mom and Dad at home. Hey, Dad, you should have came to the Chili Bowl.
Jacob Hughes is locked in, guys. A 410 rookie this year at Knoxville Raceway. Came home 15th in points, making his Chili Bowl debut. And I think at the top of the ramp, when they won the heat race earlier, that was the most excited anyone's been all week. It was a huge celebration. Now I think it's kind of settling in. Hey, we got to get ready for an A main tonight. We got 30 more laps.
30 laps of an A main coming up in just a little bit. Your starting lineup for tonight's A main event. Row number 1, it is the 55X of CJ Leary out of Greenfield, Indiana. And to his outside, from Glendale, Arizona, the 67A of Ashton Torgerson.
Row number 2, the 1S of Spencer Basin out of Lebanon, Indiana. And row to his outside, Chris Wyndham in the 89 out of Canton, Illinois.
Starting 5th from Hollister, California, it's the 87W of Ryan Burnell. And to his outside, 2022 Chili Bowl champ from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, the 88 of Tanner Thorson.
Inside row 4, from Princeton, Indiana, the USAC Sprint Car champion, the 39G of Kyle Cummins. And to his outside, the multiple-time Chili Bowl champion in the 21CB from Norman, Oklahoma, Christopher Bell.
Row number 5, the 67 of Jacob Denny out of Galloway, Ohio. And the real deal, Andrew Deal out of Caney, Kansas in the 15D.
Inside of row number 6, the Shark Carter Sarf out of Mason City, Illinois in car number 5. Into his outside, Joel Myers Jr. in the 19.
Inside row number 7, the GOAT of micro sprints from Pryor, Oklahoma, the 81F of Frank Flood. His outside, Canyon, Texas's Brecken Reese in car number 20Q.
Row number 8 on the insides, the 8B of Jeffrey Abbey out of Rome, Texas. Into his outside, it's the Macho Man Brady Bacon in the 21H out of Broken Arrow, Oklahoma.
Transfers from the B main begin with Matt Sherrill inside of row number 9 for Second Opinion Auto Center out of Collinsville, Oklahoma. And to his outside, Trevor Klein out of Mooresville, North Carolina in the 55T.
Inside row 10's the Badger Midget champion 2 times in a row from Blue Mounds, Wisconsin, Parker Jones in 41J. And to his outside from Chickasha, Oklahoma, it's Brant Woods in the 14F.
Inside row number 11, the ASCOC champion in the 27X, that's Caleb Henry out of Sacramento, California. And his outside, the 41W of Brad Wyatt from Brownstown, Michigan.
And your final row from C to B to A, Kyle Simon in the 23S out of Covington, Ohio, and Jacob Hughes out of Hartford, South Dakota in car number 11.
It's 24 cars and 30 laps coming up the Thursday night A main event. There's a lot of good picks. Would that be a
surprise, though, guys?
Yeah.
I mean, Kyle Cummins is coming off the year of his life in the USAC National, non-wing sprint car scene, and I mean, in arguably what's been the best cars in the building this week. But it just feels like if Kyle Cummins can get it done here, it would be like, wow, that's a big one.
Guys, news: outside row number 5 has not made the call. Andrew Deal did not roll down the ramp.
Interesting.
So that shuffles everybody out from the outside row up one further spot. As the lights are out, we're about to go green.
CJ Leary for Alex Bowman Racing and Ashton Torgerson for KKM. We're green on Hasty Bay qualifying night.
Leary fired off the bottom and quickly to the top, wasting no time at all, as it's a NOS energy drink sandwich around Ashton Torgerson.
Spencer Baston on the bottom, Chris Wyndham up top, Ryan Burnell just following his 2 NOS teammates through the hole there, down on the low side as that was Tanner Thorson looking to make it 3 wide. Meanwhile, to the outside, Ashton Torgerson trying to stop the bleeding from the front row. He's all the way back to 5th.
Top 5 is a NOS energy drink party as those 3 cars are trying to hunt down your race leader, CJ Leary, who's starting to check out on this field.
CJ Leary looking strong. Wow, look at all the NOS up front. Crack one open, whether it's zero sugar or something else. You got all the flavors. Down on the low side, Burnell trying to make the move on Baston.
Christopher Bell already up 3 positions from the outside of the 4th row. Here he comes in that pristine auction number 21 CB. But at the same time, it's a NOS party just ahead. You've got Ryan Burnell now leading the charge over Baston and Chris Wyndham.
Guys, it won't be long before we're all entering above the cushion, especially in turn 1. CJ Leary's already doing it, and that's how he's driving away from these guys. It will not be long before we enter above the cushion in 3 and 4 also.
We'll see who learns what CJ Leary's already figured out as everybody on the top. Christopher Bell pounds the cushion, jumps over it, loses a spot, but keeps it on all 4s.
And the guy getting past him was Kyle Cummins. Cummins had just gotten by Thorson. Now down the back straightaway, Cummins setting sail for the rest of the field. As you see a little front end flying, it's CJ Leary up and above it, just like you said.
It is Cowboy up on a Thursday night at the Expo Raceway. Leary able to tame it for now. Burnell in second, Baston, Wyndham, Kyle Cummins now starting to close in on the NOS Energy Drink Brigade.
All the cars are figuring out how to get above the cushion in 1 and 2 as well as 3 and 4. It took no time at all for everyone to follow CJ Leary's lead.
Coming into 3 and 4, you're right, everybody 4 in the fluff as here comes Kyle Cummins teeing up a slider into 1 and 2 on Chris Wyndham for 4th. Cross the nose, Wyndham tries to cross underneath, can't get the job done there. Cummins will slide himself into 3 and 4, and how about Kyle Cummins on a move?
Kyle Cummins is absolutely picking him up and putting him down. A little bit of gap now between Cummins and the next group of cars that he needs to get to as we are wide open. CJ Leary coming into the back of the field. Traffic about to be a factor.
Basin with a test slider on Ryan Bernal. Bernal answers the question and drives back around him. Those guys are starting to close in on CJ Leary ever so slowly.
Leary now on the back end of the field. He's got Jacob Hughes, the first car to put a lap down, but Kyle Cummins continues to be on the march. Christopher Bell now entering the chat as well as he parks it right on Big Daddy's left front.
Wyndham came right back after Cummins in that corner as Bell trying to get down to the bottom and find some room to go. And there's something down there, Clinton.
Yeah. There's Bell making up a really good time. That slider line's not bad. He's making up a lot of ground. Back to the bottom side of 3 and 4. Let's see if he closes in on Cummins.
Coming off the corner, he had to get it a little tip. He settled it back down. Here's the in-car from Christopher Bell. Slides, doesn't quite get there coming through the turn.
Guys, our race is going to be for the lead in the next lap or two. CJ Leary struggling to get by lap cars. Bernal has closed right in on him as Leary makes a big move in turn 1.
That's Brant Woods, and he had a little trouble negotiating that last handful of turns. Ryan Burnell, 4 up above the cushion. Ryan Burnell closing in on CJ Leary, and your battle will be for the lead here in a minute with 24 still to go, or 27 to go.
He's bringing Baston with him, guys. Baston is right in on this battle. You see him coming in on the screen as Burnell to within a car length and a half. They enter one. Leary getting clear of lap traffic for a second.
If anyone knows cowboy up, big cushions and getting after it, it's going to be the kid from California and Ryan Bernal. He's absolutely hammering that thing in 3 and 4, but CJ's just a little bit smoother and able to create a gap.
Boy, they're just bouncing off a ledge as Baston fired a slider. Almost got their little contact coming out of 2. It's Baston a line lower than Burnell this time in 3 and 4, coming after second place.
That was a decent quarter, though, for Burnell. He was all the way to the wall. He'll do it again in 1 and 2. Try to drive down off the cushion. Baston trying to keep tabs on Burnell as well. Again, that's 2nd and 3rd. There's your leader, CJ Leary. Now a new gaggle of cars just up ahead as they continue to go up above the cushion.
Looks like we're 10 to go this time by. 20 down, 10 left. As big old wheel stand coming from Burnell. That's going to cost him some space on the back of Leary. Leary's going to get away and be able to breathe for a second.
Leary got a lot of experience entering above the cushion. So many laps at the Kokomo Speedway. Right now he's mastering it and absolutely pulling away as Chaos is right in front of your leader, CJ Leary.
Yeah, Clint, they were 3 wide coming off at turn number 4. Leary just trying to find a lane, but here comes Ryan Burnell in that battle up front. Burnell now just about a car length there. He's going to peek his nose to the inside. CJ Leary up above the cushion. Ryan Burnell to the top spot.
It's 7 laps to go this time by. Ryan Burnell to the top spot. Leary 2. We got one around in corner number 4.
Right in front of the leaders as they come by. That is Trevor Klein, who transferred up from the B main, was running in the 16th spot.
So the rule, guys, has been the leader plus 1 completes the lap and it's done. So Burnell should keep this lead.
Yeah.
It'll be Burnell, Leary, Baston, Cummins, and Bell with 23 down and 7 to go.
That was getting absolutely intense. These guys are having to earn their money tonight.
How did they go 23 straight without a caution coming is the question.
On a track like this, that is absolutely amazing. Everyone just hustling, using every inch of this racetrack to try to find momentum and punch their way through the field. We'll take a look at how Ryan Burnell took that battle for the lead with CJ Leary just a moment ago.
Leary got held up behind these lap cars the lap before in 3 and 4 and just kind of bobbled. Ryan found the turn down line, and I don't know that CJ made the worst corner, but Burnell might have found something in that big turn down. Leary was able to cross him over and looked like he was going to keep the lead because he had the lap cars that pick into turn 3 as the caution came out, and
Burnell,
that's going to get rid of all of that.
Yeah, Burnell beat him to the line when it mattered, though. And Ryan Burnell right now showing as the top spot on your leaderboard.
Clinton, look at the turn number 1 when you get a chance down here when the cameras come down there. There's a little lip about 4 feet off the wall, and the way Ryan Burnell gets into turn number 1, he really gets in all 4 wheels above that lip. He's one of the few drivers doing that, and he's really found some life in that line.
We've seen him and Leary do that about 17 times.
I've seen at least 5 other cars trying to do the same thing as well.
I felt like Leary was actually getting in higher than Bernal was. He was getting in like, I mentioned Kokomo because it looked like, wow, he's like riding up on the wall and then turning back down underneath it as guys are feverishly looking at Trevor Klein's car, making sure everything's A-okay, trying to get it back in gear.
Nick Drake on the right side, his brother Brian Dunlap there as well, able to pitch in.
Clinton, one other thing to point out on Bernal's 87W. One thing I noticed really early on in the race that hasn't seemed to play a factor, but I wanted to get your attention to it. It seems like there's a lot of play in that engine, almost like the motor mounts are loose. It wiggles a lot in that 87W. I paid close attention to it every lap. That play has concerned me.
Not ideal, obviously. That's going to be tough for us to see, but one thing I do want to talk about is just how these guys are going to handle this restart. You know, what's Bernal going to do? I don't know that he can enter turn 1 and 2 up above it. You're just opening yourself up behind to get absolutely slid by CJ Leary. And, that would be terrible for him.
Blake Anderson, you talk about how it is in turns 1 and 2. I'm down here in turns 3 and 4. The lip going into turn number 3 is absolutely huge to where it's upsetting these cars. I've been obviously keeping an eye on Tanner Thorson. Thorson tries to set that car into turn 3, but with the lip being so high, the car just gets tight to where he has to reset it in the center of the corner, and then obviously he loses all of his momentum off the corner.
Restart's going to be key, but Clint, I like the point about the turn down line. Does Bernal use that again here?
I think Bernal's got to get up above it right here, fire early, turn down the hill, hit the bottom of 4, and get the best start he can.
He's not going to go all the way up. Spencer Baston will from 3rd as we're going to go back to green with 7 laps to go.
He went slow to the restart, came in and managed to avoid it in 1 and 2, but 3 and 4 could be a different question. He'll get up above it. There's the cross under. Almost a diamond line off the corners. Look out, big problems for Cummins.
Baston with the big bomb on Leary. That's going to bring Bell into the picture.
Christopher Bell watching this battle for second as Leary trying to fight for his life for a lock-in spot as they come across the stripe. It's going to be 5 laps to go.
All the while, one on its roof, and we're going to go yellow. Onto the side, we got one over in the corner. Goodness gracious.
That's Brecken Reese that came to a stop there, that purple and green machine. And is that Caleb Henry? Yeah, I think so.
Yes. Henry with the white mud covers. And this is going to be important again, too, guys, because right now we have Christopher Bell ahead of Spencer Baston.
So give Bell 2 spots on that restart.
And that's important because if CJ Leary can get a better restart and slide Bernal, that absolutely brings Bell into the picture to roll the bottom right by both those guys.
Bernal that time took a slow, late restart off the bottom and quickly got to the top. You see him get into the top of 1 and 2. Didn't get slid. Leary didn't have it there.
The late restart was good for him because that did not allow CJ Leary to get a big run. But I do think if CJ Leary would have been a bit more committed, he also thought Bernal was going to slide himself. As soon as he didn't, CJ was kind of hung out in the middle of the straightaway and couldn't get back down and grab that entry into 1 moisture and get all the way, deep slider into turn 1.
All right, so you're in Bernal's position now, Clinton. What do you do?
I go back to what I thought originally, and I think you drive into turn 3 up above the cushion and then turn down across the racetrack and try to grab that moisture. But you got to do it early so that you are just barely clearing the radius of that corner, and everyone around you still has to go around that radius to get to your moisture point. So it would be a really early into 3 fire, which we've seen go back and forth. We saw guys at the shootout get called for an early fire into turn 3 as the leader.
And then what's the counterpunch if you're behind him in Leary?
Man, if you're Leary, I think, seriously, I don't even know what you do because I feel like if Bernal does that, there's nothing you can. But if he leaves that door halfway open again and you get a good run, I think you drive all the way down the bottom of the front stretch, try to grab that turn 1 moisture, and land your slide job as deep as you can towards turn 2.
We're about to find out how this goes with 5 laps to go. Bernal leads the field. They stack up behind CJ Leary, and so Bernal's able to get away. Leary having fits now with Spencer Baston as Christopher Bell pulls away in second.
It's a worst-case scenario there for CJ Leary. You've now given up second. They're all over the place behind you. You're just hoping somebody wrecked before that lap was over, and it didn't happen.
Slider line by Christopher Bell is really good right there. He's going to come down, stick the bottom of turn 4. Bernal's trying to do that turn down, but he's hanging himself out on turn 4.
Got caught in the slick. Bell to the lead. Here they go with 3 laps to go. Brian Bernal's front nose and Christopher Bell to the point. As they come around, it'll be 2 to go.
Christopher Bell into the lead. 2 laps left for C-Bell. As he'll roll down the straightaway, open it up over Bernal. He needs to hang on now as Leary coming back for the final transfer.
The fight for CJ Leary is there on the bottom as Bernal jumps the cushion again. White flag is out for Christopher Bell. Trying to tie Kyle Larson with a 9th preliminary win. He streaks down the back straightaway. It has been near perfect for Christopher Bell this week, and in his own equipment, Bell wins Thursday night at the Chili Bowl.
Leary is your final lock-in. CJ Leary makes the Saturday show in another Donnybrook of an A main event here at the Chili Bowl Nationals.
That one got so technical at the end of that race. And when it gets technical, you see Kyle and Christopher succeed every time. They are continually showing us why they are the absolute best that dirt racing has to offer.
But how about it for ABR? Leary and Briggs Danner both punching Saturday night tickets. Huge weekend for them. Ryan Burnell, heartbreak for Matt Wood Racing. Yet another top 5, but not a lock-in.
Tonight had a little bit of everything for everybody, Chris. We said it at some point. You want the big runs, you want technicality, you want cowboy up, you want crashes. Had it all. Christopher Bell ends up on top.
Absolutely. And Matt Sherrill, C to B to just outside the top 10 on such a gnarly racetrack.
Incredible. So unofficial top 10, Bell, Leary, Burnell, Baston, Cummins, Thorson, Wyndham, Sarf, Denny, Torgerson. Cheryl Flood, Bacon, Klein, and Myers top 15. Reese, Jones, Henry, Abbey, Simon, Wyatt, Woods, Hughes, and Deal through 24. As there he is, he swept the night, Christopher Bell.
Yeah, you take a bow for that performance. Textbook as Morgan climbs up there. Boy, what a week for Christopher Bell, shaping up what is going to be another epic Saturday night here in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Let's go down to the house. So they have got Christopher Bell in victory lane with Tony Laporta.
He'll make his way to the stage. Tulsa, he can hear you. It's your winner, Christopher Bell! How much fun was that?
That was a ton of fun, man. That was a ton of fun. I had to work for that one, obviously. It's in the middle part of the race there. I really started struggling and just didn't really have the pace that I needed. The guys were driving away from me, and whenever we got those rashy yellows, I'm like, I got to do something different. So I was actually getting off pretty good on the bottom of 3 and 4. So I just kind of committed to myself down there and, made sure that I got low enough on the berm enough to hit it. And I was able to make up some positions. But that right there is why I love this place, man. You're never out of it until the checker flag falls. Last year I was on the other side of it where I was up front and then got knocked back. So this place is just, it's amazing. It always produces the races. That's why every single one of you guys are here. You guys are what makes this place, the fans. So thank you, everybody. We're going to have a hell of a show on Saturday.
That's why he loves this place. What do you guys say? Is that why you love him? Hey.
Hey, Tony. Thanks for picking me, buddy.
Oh, man. Oh, God. You're welcome. I should have put you a little bit higher. Hey.
Yeah. You didn't even have me on your top 3, did you?
Yes, I did. I moved you up.
B-Walks. Where you at, B-Walks?
Yeah, Walkopedia. He doesn't know how to pick them. We'll cover that in the Chili's post-race show. Cannon McIntosh asked you about this on Flow before you threw him some serious shade. You had a pretty, I don't want to say easy night, but you didn't smell a lot of exhaust during this Hasty Bake Charcoal Grills qualifying night. On the Race of Champions on Monday, you started first, you finished first. So some people might wonder, how good is this Christopher Bell race car that you've prepared and brought to the event yourself?
How was that race lined up, Tony?
I just want to know now, after going from 8th to 1st, how good do you feel about your race car?
I feel really good. I feel really good about the speed in the race car. I think the race car is super fast. We have been working on it and changing the car a little bit, and I still think that we have a little bit of getting the car a little bit more drivable, especially whenever the track gets treacherous like that. So the car is super, super fast. Colt and Brian Kemenau, they did such a great job of assembling a super light, fast car. So we have a ton of pace. We just got to get it driving a little bit better. This place is just amazing, though.
I think it drove pretty well as you were able to pick your way past 7 cars in front of you to go 8th to 1st. The last thing we got to know is how excited are you for Saturday night in the 40th running of the Chili Bowl Nationals?
I'm just pumped to be in it, man. Whenever you line up 8th there and you look at all the cars in front of you, it's like, how am I going to get there? How am I going to get there? And then the yellow flag came out, and I think I was 5th or 6th, and just thinking, okay, I got to get the best finish that I can here. And it worked out for me. So I want to see every single one of you guys in my pit area after this one.
Hey, they'll be there. Ladies and gentlemen, the Okie, Christopher Bell's your winner.
Ryan Burnell comes home with a 3rd place finish. The emotion overcoming you as you get out of the car, Ryan. Did the high side go away? Did something change in the car the last 4 laps? Or is that just wrong place at the wrong time kind of racing?
Yeah, man, I hate it for the guys. They've done a good job all week. I feel like I really gave it away. I didn't execute there with 5 to go when I really needed to. I didn't need that yellow. I felt like I got in a really good rhythm of just kind of slamming into it, driving across it, and then I wanted to kind of run the bottom and block my line there at the end to just block CJ, but missed that too. Just a lot of missed opportunities, just put together the worst 5 laps possible there at the end. Just really hate it for Matt Wood, NOS Energy Drink, Shane, Dustin, Gary. The whole group here puts a shit ton of work into this stuff. I just hate it for them. We were so damn close.
How technical was that in turn 1? You guys were all 4 above that little lip, and I feel like the margin for error pretty thin over there.
Yeah, that's my style of racing right there. You just kind of, as they would call me, Donkey Kong, I guess, just get the elbows up and just hammer the shit out of it. And that's what I tried to do. I just didn't execute there. 5 to go.
You've been no stranger to working out of the B into the A main on Saturday night. I'm sure this tonight makes that fire burn a little hotter on Saturday night to put on a show.
Yeah, I didn't want it. I didn't want a battle in a B main, but you know, we're locking 4 in the front of a B. That's something to really be proud of. It's a testament to the team, right? It's a testament to these guys that barely get to race midgets at all. Just really proud of the team.
At the end of the day, big picture, a solid run. Congratulations, Ryan.
Thank you.
Ryan Bernal comes home with a 3rd place run, looking to lock into Saturday night's A main, but has a little bit of work to do come Saturday evening.
Man, I feel for Ryan. You see the emotion there, how much 1 and 2 positions, 2 positions really, but 1 spot for that lock-in meant to him there, and how disappointed he is for the guys who help him work so hard to get there. Incredible. We'll have time. We'll diagnose that a little bit more. We need to get down to Earl, who's got 2nd place.
CJ Leary, what a race. I know you wanted 1 spot better, but still the victory is here, being locked into Saturday night, and that's exactly what you did. Good job.
Yeah, for sure. You know, Alex told me before the race that I was going to have to get my elbows up and drive the shit out of it, and you know, starting on the pole, it was my race to lose, and you know, I wasn't for sure what to quite do there on the start. You know, I wasn't for sure if I was going to roll the bottom for a couple laps or shoot straight to the top. You know, I watched all the other prelim nights. Seemed like the guys got, you know, complacent on the bottom and let someone just kind of railroad them on the top. So I just got straight to the top, went to work. You know, I was running up above the cushion there, and I felt like I was making good lap times, good lap speed down the straightaway. And you know, Alex did a heck of a job on the wrenches all night. I know he was super nervous, and I don't get nervous very often, but I was super nervous before the feature tonight. So thanks to Ally Racing and ABR, just everybody that puts in time on the Ally Racing 55. So super stoked to have 2 cars in the pole shuffle and the A main on Saturday. I know it's been a goal of Alex's. He puts a lot of heart and soul into this, and I'm just happy and thankful to be the guy driving it. You know, we're really good friends, but he puts a lot of faith in me, and just gotta say hi to everyone back home, my wife, and you know, the whole Bemis family's watching, and my mom's watching. So super exciting for all of them.
Just how satisfying is it that you know you could sleep in now a little bit on Saturday, but that you are locked into the 55-lap A main event?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely takes some pressure off and lets us, you know, just think about the pole shuffle and then the 55 laps on Saturday. Definitely, we're a little bit relieved, but still bummed. You know, I feel like, you know, we ran a really good race and we just didn't come away with the win. I didn't need that yellow at the end. You know, it just fell right when Bernal had got us at the line. I got him back in 1 and 2, then yellow came out, and I was really bummed when we saw the board and saw he was in front of us. But he drove a heck of a race, and hats off to, you know, Christopher and Ryan. You know, it was a fun race, and looking forward to Saturday.
Guys, what a great A main we witnessed, and you see him right there. CJ Leary locks it into the 55-lap A main for Saturday.
So, ABR's now got 2 in. Good for them. Congratulations. Christopher Bell Racing, 1 of 2, but Christopher got the job done himself. Keith Kuntz Motorsports still looking for number 1 to put in there.
Yep.
Matt Wood Racing.
Still looking for 1.
Still looking for number 1. Tanner Thorson missed her tonight. First time.
That's a tough field.
That's a tough field.
That top 10 is nuts.
What a crazy night.
Yeah.